This is a Miami Sports Music Podcast Network production. This is the #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers, let's go.
I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
Phins for life, we throw the foe.
It is your boy, Stephen D. How y'all doing today? Right here on the #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, a Miami Sports Music's Podcast Network. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Super excited to be hanging out with y'all today. I am your host, Stephen D. You can follow me on all social media at Stephen D SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. We got a great, amazing, wonderful, awesome show lined up for you today. Why is that? Well, because, we couldn't have Nicky Smokes here. He had a prior family engagement that he had to attend to this morning. So I was like, man, who can I get in here along with my man and Nando, who's going to be coming on at 10 a.m. this morning? Who can I get in here to hang out and debate with us and chat with us? And I said, well, there's a couple of people I could sit and chit chat with, and I haven't talked to this guy in a while, and he's a good friend of mine, and we don't see eye to eye on everything. It's going to be a lively debate this morning, but it's going to be a fun one, and it's going to be nothing but love. There might be a little debate here and there, little sparring, but it's going to be fun nonetheless. At 11 a.m., ladies and gentlemen, I'll have TD Phins talk on the air. It's going to be a lot of fun. So he will be hanging out with us at 11 a.m. So he'll come on at 11. He'll hang out with us. Nando will be on at 10. He'll be on till noon with us. And I'll take you throughout the whole show. I'm going to be your wonderful, beautiful, amazing, handsome host. That is right. But it's the rundown. So let me do the rundown before we get going into anything. I want to say good morning to my Finlaws and my family. Shout out to everybody who's watching right now. That's family with a PH. Super excited to be hanging out with y'all this morning. I am Stephen D. You can follow me on all social media at Stephen D SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. You can also follow Miami Sports Music on all social media too, at Miami Sports Music, everywhere except for Twitter, where it's at MIA Sports Music. You guys can do that there, so make sure you follow us there. I want to make sure when you guys come in, you guys hit that like button, hit it, tap it, whatever you got to do to it. Just make sure that y'all can, hit the like button. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. So just make sure y'all hit the like button. It's going to be a lot of fun on the show today. So just make sure you hit it. Okay. Make sure y'all do that. Also, subscribe to the channel. We just hit over 10,000 subscribers. Let me pull out 10,000 subscribers this past week while I was on vacation. So it was a lot of fun. I'm super excited about that. So I'm going to enjoy it tremendously by seeing if we can get to 15. 15's the next goal. Okay. But in order to get to 15, we got to get to 11,000. Okay. So let's get to 11,000 by making sure you subscribe to the channel and telling your family members to subscribe to the channel. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. So just make sure you share the link of the YouTube channel. Just say, hey, look, hey, friends, hey, man, go ahead and subscribe to the #1 Miami fan morning show, Miami Sports Music's YouTube channel. Okay. Make sure y'all do that. All right. Awesome. Also, hey, look, you want to sign up and become a member of the family? I would love for you today. Join this channel to get access to perks, but most importantly, just to help on a monthly basis, just donate to this wonderful, awesome, beautiful channel that we have. So if you guys are able to, sign up, become a member today. You get a wrench next to your name. You get a little emoji next to your name. You get some perks. So make sure y'all do that. It's pretty awesome, I must say. So make sure y'all do that. I'm going to be having the Patreon page opened up here at the beginning of the year. So be on the lookout for the Patreon page. That will be opened up January 1st. So make sure you look out for our new Patreon coming out in January 1st. So I am excited about that. Should be a lot of fun. Also, hey, look, you want to help the channel grow by donating just in general? There's lots of different ways you can do that. Hey, Justin Vandenberg, thank you for being a member for 2 months. What's up, man? How are you? Super excited. Justin Vandenberg, he knows all about it. He's been a member for 2 months here on the channel. Justin, man, I love that you're part of the family. Super excited that you're here, man. Yes, where was I at? Help the channel grow by donating. Lots of different ways you can do it. You can use the YouTube live super chat, which is the $sign below the bottom of the chat. It's a little rectangle with the $sign in the middle. I don't care if you guys give $1, $100, $1 million, $4, $3.05. If you're from the 305 area code donations, whatever it is, you guys do it. You guys can also use Cash App or PayPal. Okay. $sign MSM Podcast Network, and also PayPal, which is also MSM Podcast Network. Now, before I get going into anything, if you guys donate between now and the rest of this week through Friday, if you donate $25 in increments of $25, okay, let me tell you what I got to give away to raffle off on Friday. But you can only donate through Cash App or PayPal. Cannot donate through YouTube. If you donate through YouTube, that's great. I appreciate the donation. But for this raffle specifically, it's going to be specifically through Cash App and PayPal donations. Okay? It is a Cash App and PayPal raffle giveaway. If you donate in increments of $25, you will be entered to win a Christian Wilkins autographed jersey that I got in from ZSM Sports. It is one of the many cool things that I got in from ZSM Sports. Shout out to ZSM. Waited for a long time for this package, and I finally got it. So this awesome exclusive, it is PSA certified. It's got a PSA certification up there, which is really cool. Christian Wilkins autographed jersey. Okay. It's dope. So if you donate in increments of $25 on either Cash App or PayPal only, Cash App or PayPal only. Let me throw it up on the screen again so you guys can see it. There you go. MSM Podcast Network, or the QR code right on your screen, or $sign MSM Podcast Network. And you got to let me know that you did it, obviously. Those are the only two places we're accepting the donations for this awesome, amazing giveaway of this Christian Wilkins autographed jersey, the throwback to it. Let me tell you, it's probably one of the sweetest things we've ever had here. I like it. It's dope. So make sure y'all donate. Help the channel grow. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. And we're going to give that away at the end of Friday's show. I might actually stop end the stream on Friday's show and do a brand new stream just for the giveaway later on in the afternoon of Friday. So make sure y'all do that. Any $25 donations on Cash App or PayPal only. I'm even going to move it up here. There you go. Okay. Let's go. All right. Want to give a big shout out to our sponsors of the show, ZSM Sports. ZSM, cards, jerseys, balls, and hard to find items. Make sure you follow ZSM today, especially on Instagram at SportsZSM. Zachary's got a lot of really cool stuff, a lot of amazing events. He's got some public and private signings for some great Miami Dolphins and Miami Heat basketball players that are coming up soon. So make sure you guys stay on the lookout for it. Follow ZSM Sports today. It is the #1 place specializing in sports memorabilia. Make sure you give ZSM a follow today. Hangry Owls, good food, good mood. Craft subs and salads. Make sure you follow Hangry Owls at you give them a call at 305-279-5332. And the sub shop, the amazing sub shop. And by the way, he's got amazing desserts there too. You go there at Pembroke Pines. Awesome food. Hangry Owls. Make sure you go get the Spread Kindness sub. Oh, it's beautiful. Love the Spread Kindness sub. Aldo's absolutely amazing. His family's amazing. Newly engaged. Shout out to Aldo. You're the man, brother. Love you. Also, man, Vezasaur. Love me some Vezasaur. Born and raised the official beer of Clock Blockers, a beer created for the fans, by the fans. Want to remind you guys, Vezasaur watch party, Saturday night. I am flying down to be in Wynwood. That's right. I will be in South Florida Saturday night for the Miami Dolphins Buffalo Bills watch party hosted by myself and Dolph Freaky. The event is free. It does not cost anything, but we want you to RSVP on Tail Greeter. Okay, if you're going to come to it, just RSVP because there's limited seating and they just want to make sure they have enough people in there. And let me tell you, we already got like 250 people coming. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be such a good time. We're excited about it, believe it or not. We're super stoked about it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you guys come and do that. That you can go to Tail Greeter, look up Vasasaur, and you'll do the watch party up there. It's good stuff. Okay. Also, man, Tail Greeter. Make sure you download the app today on your current Apple or Android device. Absolutely amazing. So make sure y'all do that. Download the app today on your current Crapple or Android device and follow Tail Greeter at TAILGREETER. All right, it's Hot Take Tuesday. My man Nando will be up here in about 10-15 minutes for Hot Take Tuesday. It'll be good stuff. We'll have special guest TD Phins Talk on at 11 a.m. And that's the show for today. We're going to have it's a great show. We got a great show lined up for you. That's the rundown right here on Clock Blockers, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Want to remind you guys the slate of shows we have each and every night right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. We had Nando Talk last night. We got the Dirty South Fantasy Football Show Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. And right after that, don't forget about Phins, all right? The #1 Spanish-speaking podcast each and every Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. And then Wednesday nights, we got Batman, the Phinsaholic Show. It's good stuff. So make sure you check them out. The Phinsaholic Show at 8:30 p.m. on Wednesdays. We love Batman. Shout out to Batman. Awesome. Jason Sarney with the Thursday night kickoff and Nonus nights. They are on Thursday nights, and the lunchtime rewind on Friday afternoon at 2 p.m. with Nando Talk. And then Friday nights, we got Phins Take with CB83 at 8:30 p.m. each and every Friday night. It's awesome. All right, man. Let me say hello to the people that are in the chat, man. We got Chef Zhu in the building. Trucker Sean. Good morning, Trucker Sean. Artful Dodger. Good morning, brother. Who else we got up in here this morning? We got Adam E. Good morning, Adam E. Saxman J. Will, one of the original OGs, man. Love it, man. Love it. What else? We got Vic Papo. I like it, man. Brah. What's up, man? Who else we got up in here? Scar 305 asked, Steven, why don't you just move to Miami, brah? You be there more than me. Man, I would love to. It's so expensive. Trust me, I look all the time. The housing market there is just absolutely insane. And, what I pay for, rent here and got the family and the kids. It's a lot, man. So trust me, it's on here. I would love to do it, but yeah, no. Omar Castro says, can we ban? No banning today. There's no timeouts today. We're going to do a fun, lively debate. It's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. There will be no bans or timeouts for today. It's going to be good. So I'm going to have, I'm excited to have my boy Nando on. We're going to talk. I haven't gotten Nando's point of view from the last 2 weeks because we haven't just had a chance to talk. And then, having TD on, I've been listening to TD for the last couple of weeks now, so I know how TD feels. It's going to be very interesting, and we'll see how that goes, man. We'll see how that goes. My daughter's birthday was this morning, and you know what I got? My wife, myself, my mom, my dad, my son, and my brother, we all pitched in, and we got her like the last generation, not the new one, but the last generation's refurbished iPad. Yeah, I bought a Crapple for my daughter. I did. I just want the world to know. I told my wife that I would make that announcement, that I bought a Crapple. And yes. Level 2 Noob says, Steven, fantasy football update. The 6 teams are set. Bottom 4 is almost set. 3 of Spore's spots filled. We should, man. Thursday after Tamaris, why don't some of the fantasy Clock Blockers fantasy football team, fantasy football league, get up here and we could talk about everything, man. I think that'll be fun. Clock Blockers fantasy football league should meet up here after Tamaris on Thursday morning and give me an update on the Clock Blockers Fantasy Football League. I would love to hear what's going on, who's in first, who's in second, all that stuff, man. So it'll be very, 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 I'd like to know it. It'll be fun. Okay. Who else is up in here this morning? I just want to say hello to all the people that are in here. Clock Blockers, your number one Miami Dolphins show in Baltimore. No doubt, right? Scummy's up in here. Omar, Gabriel Sosa. Good morning from Mexico, New Mexico. Getting my morning fix. Super excited you're here, man. Imperium Gaming. Good morning. Shag Phins is in the building. Level 2 noob, obviously. Scar 305. Man's a chill. Like it. Who else I got up in here this morning? Cap for Life is in here. Good morning, beautiful people. So I heard number 8 is pissed. We're going to talk about that this morning. There's a lot of things that I want to talk about this morning, and that being one of them. Jevon Holland's feelings about this. As a matter of fact, this is probably. I think I'll start here this morning with the Jevon Holland thing because I just think it's very interesting. We're going to go over some of this with Nando and a little bit more of this with TD a little bit later. But I think it's a pretty good way to start off the morning in the conversation. Party Keg 69, Darius Diesel 561. Good morning, big dog. Good morning, Party Keg. Super excited that y'all are here. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. And just real quick before I get going into anything, want to remind you guys, if you donate $25 in increments of $25 through Cash App or PayPal, okay? Between now and the rest of the week, you will be entered to win a Christian Wilkins autographed jersey, courtesy of ZSM Sports. So ZSM Sports, Christian Wilkins autographed jersey. It's got the PSA certification sticker on it. You see at the bottom of the 4 there. You can't really see it, but it's there. The only way that you can enter is to donate $25 in increments through Cash App or PayPal. That's the only way. All right. No YouTube. I'm not taking any YouTube donations through that. So just Cash App and PayPal donations of $25 in increments of $25. Okay. So you can enter as many times as you want. But yeah, that Christian Wilkins jersey is straight fire. I love it. It's awesome. It's good stuff. All right. Let's go ahead and start out with everything today. So I every morning or every evening, I kind of go through what can I talk about on the next day show or this morning show. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about today was Jevon Holland on Instagram Live last night. And so this is the one, if you haven't seen it, which I know a lot of you haven't, I'm going to show you the 1 minute and 14-second clip right now of Jevon Holland talking about the fans. It was kind of asked to him, and let's go ahead and get into it. This is on Jevon Holland's Instagram Live last night.
Let me talk about that shit. How are y'all gonna say Tues sold when he's been fucking playing his ass off the last 8 games? One bad game, and we don't even know. We gotta look at the film, bro. Like, I don't even know if it was a bad game. I know that my job is to give the ball back to the offense. But I'm behind them boys regardless. Y'all fans be so quick to switch up. Like, come on, man. That's so lame. Y'all be so quick to switch up on our team. Like, how you want to, like, that is so crazy to me. Like, yeah, you loyal fans, like, cool. But then y'all just switch up dumb quick. And y'all hate on us. Like, bruh, I thought y'all was supposed to be ride or die or something. Nah, y'all be switching up on us. That should be lame. Super lame, bro. Anyway, just know that man Tues, He fighting as hard as everybody else in the field. And it just is what it is.
All right. So let me tell you a couple things. Number one, let me just say Instagram Live or any social media live with players is very interesting because you get the raw truth sometimes when they're like just in their element, right? And so Jevon Holland is literally looks like he's laying on the floor of his house or in his closet or whatever, just laying just on Instagram Live, bored to death probably. Okay. and just answering people's questions, right? And to see him up there be raw is one of the things that I like when it comes to players. I want to know what your truth is. I want to know. I don't want to when at a post-game press conference when a person is saying, "Hey, this is what happened. What are your thoughts?" You're always going to give a calculated answer. That wasn't a calculated answer. That was the raw truth. And I think that's real. Now, I have talked to Miami Dolphins players. I have talked to former NFL football players. And the number one consensus of players to fans is this. Players have a very difficult time understanding what a fan is, the definition of a fan. And I say that because in Jevon Holland's spiel, he goes, I thought you guys were supposed to be ride or die. I'm a Dolphins fan to the day that I die. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about that. Love this team. Do a YouTube channel. Do a morning show. Create, like, come on now. Like, there's nobody. I love the Dolphins. But I think there's a difference between I can be subjective. I can be objective. I can be critical. I can be, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. For example, yesterday, I said straight up, last two games, in my opinion, are on Tua. Not 100%, but a big portion of it. Big portion is on Tua. Now, there's a lot of people that didn't agree. There's a lot of people that didn't agree with me. There's some that did. But I don't think there's anything with wrong as a fan of me saying that. But I also, in the same breath, said, if you don't want to, take out pieces, Tua's the guy. He's the guy for the future. I don't want to see anybody else playing quarterback. He's shown me something this year that if he can find that again, whatever that may be, we got a shot. We got a shot to make a run. Okay. Now I know the last two games have been heartbreakers, and trust me, I haven't been. I'm just as pissed off as a lot of you, if not more. Actually, I'm probably more pissed off than a lot of you because this 2-game losing streak came at the worst time when I'm about to go down to South Florida and do a watch party. I wanted the team to do good for many different reasons, but one of them being, hey, look, I want everybody to be jacked up for this Bills game. Well, after a 2-game losing streak, no people are jacked up. Everybody is saying, well, this is probably an L. And that sucks. I hate that for many different reasons. But look, I got even Amazon over here is talking to me. But that's one of the things that when I look at players to fans interactions or relationships, I don't know if players understand that. I think that when somebody is critical, they deem it as they're hating. I don't think that's always the case. I think there are haters out there in our fan base. Do not get that twisted. But I think that you can also be critical of players in the fan base, and there's nothing wrong with that. If I am a fan of a team my entire life, I want to see that team do well. And when that team doesn't do well, I have a right to bitch and complain about it to a certain extent. But you would never see me say, oh, my God. Like Noah's a good example for me. Noah Igbenogany. Noah's a nice guy off the field. Personally, I've never met him. But people that I know that have interacted with him, nice guy. Do I think that Noah Igbenogany deserves to be on the team? Probably not. And at the beginning of the year, nobody talked more about him than me. Talking about that, put up or shut up. Play or don't play. But if you don't dress a majority of the season, which he has not, he needs to go. And I still feel that way about Noah. He's been a healthy scratch for what, 4 out of the last 5 weeks? Maybe even longer than that. So I look at this and he hasn't dressed. He hasn't played. And we can, and this isn't a conversation about Noah Igbenogany. This is more about Jevon Holland's statement of, I thought fans were supposed to be ride or die. I think there's a difference between being ride or die, Jevon, who, by the way, I love you. And I'm not saying I disagree or agree. I just think that just like who the heck am I to tell a fan how a fan should or should not act? I think the same implies for a player. Understand that some of these fans have been pissed off for 25, 30 years. Is that fair to you or your teammates? No, it's not. But it's the reality of the situation. We're fed up with mediocrity. We are over it. Every time we think we're about to take that next step as a team, the rug gets pulled out from under us. Now, everybody might say, well, hey, have patience. I think that's fair to say, but it's also fair for a fan to say, I'm over patience. I've been patient for 30 years. When is the team going to show up and be a contender? I think we're on our way there, personally. I do. I think we're on our way there. But I don't have a problem if fans or some of the fan base is feeling some type of way towards Tua or any other player for that matter on this roster. I just think when it comes down to it, what I would want is no personalizations. Hey, you can't play football, fine. Hey, he's just not it on the football field, fine. To say somebody's soft, let me see you out there with NFL linemen coming after you. You know, imagine Von Miller coming after you. No, thank you. I don't need it. I am happy right here behind my microphone. But I also, as a fan, have the right to be judgmental to a certain extent. I do. I pay my hard-earned money to watch the team. I buy tickets. I travel. I do a lot of stuff to show my support. I put a lot of money into this podcast network for the specific purpose of other Miami Dolphin fans coming together. Like, that's what this is, right? So, you know, I don't want to make sure. I'm going to go back real quick and just listen to it one more time, because I don't want to just point out the one thing I heard of Jevon Holland, and that is, I thought y'all were supposed to be ride or die. I want to make sure I get the whole context up here. So one more time, I'm going to play Jevon Holland.
Let me talk about that shit. How are y'all going to say Tues sold when he's been fucking playing his ass off the last 8 games? One bad game, and we don't even know. We got to look at the film, bro. Like, I don't even know if it was a bad game. I know that my job is to give the ball back to the offense, but I'm behind them boys regardless. Y'all fans be so quick to switch up. Like, come on, man. That's so lame. Y'all be so quick to switch up on our team. Like, how you want to, like, that is so crazy to me. Like, yeah, you loyal fans, like, cool. But then y'all just switch up dumb quick, and y'all hate on us. Like, bruh, I thought y'all was supposed to be ride or die or something. Nah, y'all be switching up on us. That should be lame.
All right, let me pause this real quick. So again, to kind of go to, do I think that the fan base switches up? Yes, I do. I think that there's a lot of the fan base that is I don't know the correct terminology to use, but 1 minute they're excited, and the moment they lose, oh my God, what happened? I took the San Francisco game at what it is. If y'all remember the week leading up to the San Francisco game, I was like, hey guys, if we lose this game, don't be surprised and don't be upset. Like, it's not the end of the world. We're still working our way towards everything. The Chargers game, I was surprised. I thought we should have won that game. I think we had everything we needed to. I thought that the wake-up check of the San Fran game would have been like whatever we need. Fair weather fans, I guess is a good way to put it, right? But I also understand the emotional connection of the frustration of fans, the PTSD that some of the fan base has. I get when a fan says, like Stephen Bravo says, he's been a fan for 2 years. I've been a fan for 30. I'm sick of the mediocrity. Fans live in the moment. They're going to be hot and cold. Get over it. I think that's true. I think there's some truth to that. Adam E says, Stephen D, you can tell the team rallies behind Tua, and they've heard the noise for 3 years now. Got to be tired of hearing people talk about your boy for that long and then crap out 2 in a row. They come louder. Well, haters are going to hate. And when you do, and negativity breeds negativity. So for example, do I think that our society and world is negative as a whole? No. I think there's beautiful and wonderful and kind people in this world and in this community. But the negativity, that cream will always rise to the top louder because it's just louder. When you turn on the news, what is the first 10 stories are all negative. I mean, it's just the way the world and society gravitates to. But that doesn't mean that our society, that every single person is built that way, right? And I don't want to get into our world and kindness and negativity and whatever. But for the sake of the conversation with Jevon Holland and his point, the fan base is sick of the mediocrity. They're sick of the negativity. We were stoked. We came in on a 5-game win streak. We thought that we're going to take this to the next level. And they didn't. They didn't step up when they needed to step up. Tua included. Tua being the biggest reason. And then we look at teams like the Buffalo Bills. We look at teams like the Kansas City Chiefs. We look at teams like the Philadelphia Eagles right now. And we say, what are these teams doing that we are not doing? Why are these teams winning football games for the most part when they need to? Here and there, they'll have a bad game. The Jets beat the Bills a few weeks ago during that Bears week when we played the Bears. I was really surprised about that. And I thought no way, shape, or form that was going to happen. And then over the next few weeks, the Jets come on, they just dropped the ball on everything, and everything they started doing. It was what is. There was a lot of negativity in New York over the next few weeks, and Zach Wilson all of a sudden became, number one public enemy with the Jets. Lewis A says, Stephen D, what's the difference between being a critic and being a hater? I like a little bit when what Level 2 Noob says. Every critique is called hate nowadays. It's a cop-out to dismiss people's criticism. That's fair, Level 2 Noob. Lewis, I think the difference between criticism and hate is I can be critical of Tua the last 2 weeks, but I don't. But I want Tua to succeed, and I can say that Tua is the biggest reason that we lost the last 2 games. Personal opinion. You don't have to agree with it. Personal opinion. But I also think Tua gives us the best chance to win, and when Tua's on, man, this team is good. This team has everything they need to do to win a championship. They have it now. They just got to bring it together. You go back and look at the San Francisco game. Was the play calling bad? No, it wasn't. Play calling wasn't bad. We just we had the defense out there for 80-plus snaps. Of course, they're going to be exhausted and tired when they get into the second half. Same thing on Sunday night. The defense was on the field for 2/3 of the game. How can I get mad at a depleted defense to begin with when they're playing 2/3 of a game? If they have a busted coverage or there were plenty of plays where I looked at and I said, man, that's just a good play. The defense did everything they could in that particular point. Nando Talk, who'll be coming up here in a few minutes, says, our team sucked. I hope they do better versus the team sucks, fire everyone. Or Tua sucked. Let's hope he bounces back versus Tua sucks, get rid of him. There's no hope. I think that's a fair, way to look at that question from Lewis. What's the difference between criticism and what's the difference between hate? I hate when a fan says, oh my God, fake fans. I don't think there's such thing as fake fans. I think we all love the Dolphins differently. and maybe put more stock into it than maybe we need. Look how much stock I put in my life into the Miami Dolphins. I want them to succeed for many different reasons and many different levels. The number one reason is I love this football team and I want to see them win a Super Bowl. I tell my kids all the time, man, the Dolphins ever win a Super Bowl, your dad's going to cry. I'm going to be an emotional wreck. You know, I'm going to cry. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that will happen. But if I say that Tua is not playing well, does that make me a Tua hater? No. Tua has not played well the last 2 weeks. Those are facts. But Tua overall this year has played out of his mind, has played a lot better than we all thought he would. We all wanted him to make this step up, and he has made this step up. But that doesn't make it any less valuable. Let me rephrase this. A fan saying any criticism of Tua doesn't make him or her a hater. But I get how people will say, "Oh my God, this person's been so critical." I think the word instead of hater should be you've been overly critical of a player. I think we should get rid of the term hater. I can go and say, "Hey man, I think you've been overly critical of this player." I think I was overly critical of Noah Igbenogany. But I can also say Noah hasn't hit the field, and all I wanted to do was the man to dress. He's been a healthy scratch for weeks and weeks and weeks. What am I supposed to do with that? If you're a healthy scratch and you're a first-round pick, what does that tell me? Why isn't there the same energy from Noah Igbenogany that we had for Tua when Tua doesn't play? I don't get it. I think they both deserve the same fair criticism, but Tua's the starting quarterback of an NFL football team, of course, who's already had a lot, who's had multiple injuries and everything. I think hater is a term that we should get rid of, but I think overly critical is a term that we should use more. I think fans can be overly critical of a player. I don't think there's nothing wrong with being critical of a player, but when you're overly critical of a player, people are going to be like, "Hey man, you're just, come on, what's going on? Why are you consistently criticizing this person?" We all know negativity breeds negativity. It's not going to do anything. We saw what Mike McDaniel has done with Tua in a span of 8 months, 9 months since being here. Imagine what Mike McDaniel can do with Tua in another offseason and another year under his belt. My thought process is Tua only gets better. There might be some setbacks. I think this is a setback the last 2 weeks. But if we go into Buffalo and beat Buffalo, I need y'all to think about that for a second. I know a lot of us think it's not going to happen, but why not? We have everything we need to win. If we go into Buffalo and beat Buffalo, despite how big of an underdog we will be, despite we're all going to sit here and look at each other and be like, okay, let's go. We lose to Buffalo. I have said for the last couple of days now, I don't have any problem with fans being critical of this team right now. It sucks that we lost the last two. I only wanted to lose one out of the last two minimum. At least I would have been comfortable with it, right? Like I would have been like, okay, I get it, understand it. So, what I want to do is just understand what I want to do is just understand a player's perspective about the fan base. And what I'm trying to explain to Jevon Holland and all the rest of the players is I don't think it's a matter of fans not being ride or die. I don't think it's a matter of fans being fair weather fans. I think it's a matter, Jevon Holland and the rest and other players in the NFL, especially with the Miami Dolphins, is the Dolphins fans in general, specifically Dolphins fans, are just sick of mediocrity. They're just sick of it. They don't want nothing else to do with mediocrity anymore. We're done with losing. And with the transactions and the moves that we made this offseason and what we have seen at times during this season, to me, there's not a lot of excuse for the Chargers game. I will give you an excuse for the San Fran game. I already said that I'm okay, can have an off game. Now you've had 2 back-to-back off games. I'm going to have an issue with that. Don't and it's going to suck if there's a third, but I said yesterday, look, what are you going to do with 7 inches of snow and 9 inches of snow? They're expecting 7 to 9 inches on Saturday night. This is a totally different football game now. You have changed. You can't use the game plan that you normally use or anything like that. But I also think that's where coaching comes into play too. MB41 says Dolphins been figured out. That's fine. Make the adjustments. You have everything you need in your arsenal to make adjustments. You have speed, you have run, you have offensive linemen when healthy. You have to me, this team has everything it needs to win a Super Bowl right now. Can they get better? Of course they can. But this team has everything they need right now to win a Super Bowl. The thing what they need to do is bring it together. The one thing that I've been frustrated, and I will talk about that more with TD later on in the 11 o'clock hour, is I've yet to see the Miami Dolphins put together 4 straight quarters in a game. I've yet to see it. And I want to see it. Do I think I'm going to see it Saturday night? Probably not. But we only need 1 or 2 things to go our way Saturday night in order for us to win, because it's a snow game. It's totally different. Well, then, Stephen D., you're not being critical enough then, especially about little Tua play on the field or lack thereof every time it's a big game for him. See, I'm not mad at that comment, Mark. If you don't think I'm being critical enough, that's fine. I respect that opinion. What I will tell you in return is look at all the rest of the criticism that he's getting from the rest of the fan base in the NFL. Why pile on to that? Because he's done a lot of good things right. The last 2 games, he has not. To me, it's unacceptable that you throw the ball 25 yards. What else do you want me to say more than it's unacceptable that you threw the ball 25 yards and a half on prime time? Unacceptable. Can't have it. See? Amazon. She's hearing everything I say right now. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Let me pull this off the screen. Alexa, stop. What in the world? Ladies and gentlemen, Nando talk. What's up, Nando?
What is up, man? I'm still driving a little bit, but I heard you and I was like, you know what? I gotta hop in, man. Gotta keep Steven some company, man. Sorry for the delay right now, but
no, it's all good, man. You're on now. What are your thoughts about the Jevon Holland spiel on social media last night?
Before I go, can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you. You're good.
Got you. Got the headphones in. Well, the Jevon thing, it's tough. I was actually just talking about it with my dad last night. I don't know, man. I think if we're sitting here and we're saying that we as fans are allowed to get invested with the team and feel some type of way, then of course as a player they are as well. You know, like we love this team, so do they. You know, it's the team who gave him an opportunity, who drafted him. He's given his heart, sweat, and tears into this team. And does he want the support from the fans? Of course, you know. Now, fans are allowed to fan however they want. You know, like you said, man, haters are gonna hate. Like negativity is gonna come to the top, but Holland's feeling some hurt, bro. Like, of course, man. Like, I am always going to support my players. That's just me, though. You know, like, I'm always going to ride with Holland, ride or die, like you said, bro. Like, no matter what, no matter how hurt and how frustrated we can feel, like, why constantly attack and troll our players? You know, if you want to critique them, that's fine, man. To go on his IG live, and if you're going to bash him around, that's a whole other story, bro. Like, obviously, he's going to feel some type of way.
I think let me, and I just want to put this into context. I think Jevon was asked the question about the criticism of Tua or Tua's bad performance. And so I don't think anybody was criticizing Noah. I think they were saying, what do you think about Tua? And or, hey, Tua's played a bad game. You need to tell him to get on it. And I think he was responding to that.
For his boy, bro. Like, he's standing up for his captain, he's standing up for his teammate, and, like, I can't fault him for that. If anything, I would have been more sad if he was like, you guys are right, man. Tues trash, you know, on his Instagram live, and be like, you guys are right. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to talk to the team. We're going to have a coup, you know? Like, I want him to support his teammate, you know? Like, yes, we're his fans, but, like, that's his teammate. That's his boy who he works and puts every single drop of effort that he has in his body with him. Like, obviously, he's going to stand up and defend him. And that's what I want to see from this team. Like, they're downtrodden after 2 losses, but they're not so beat up that they're, like, turning on each other, you know? Which is good.
No, I 100% agree with you on that, Nando. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. It is Hot Take Tuesday. Nando talk, usually in the studio, a little behind in traffic. He will be in the studio momentarily here, hanging out with me for the rest of the show. In the 11 o'clock hour, we will have our good friend TD Phins talk to come on and talk about some things. All right, one of the other things that I wanted to do, I'm just going to put you on mute here for a second, Nando, is Good Morning Football talked about the Miami Dolphins and playing the Buffalo Bills in December. So I wanted to play a little clip of that this morning. I'm just going to play the audio version of that. So let me share the screen real quick and play this little clip of Peter Schrager and the rest of the Good Morning Football crew talking about the Miami Dolphins playing in December against the Buffalo Bills. Here's a little bit of that.
Home can play along too. All right. So for years in the early 90s, the Bills had the edge over the Dolphins in these cold weather games up in Buffalo. Dolphins would go up there with Marino, and then the Bills would end up winning those games with, of course, Bruce Smith, Darryl Talley, Cornelius Bennett, and the bunch. During Sunday Night Football, NBC revealed that the Dolphins had heaters on the sideline in Los Angeles. Mike McDaniel was asked about the weather for the game in Buffalo on Saturday would have something to do with this game, and here's what he had to say.
The course of the game can be influenced, but, you know, you still have to play in the same temperature and climate or as the opposing team. Just one's more used to it than the other. So, you know, I think that's something that you have to be real and upfront that, you know, hey, it's going to be cold, but it's also something that no one cares. The box score doesn't read asterisks, it was cold.
Love that guy. Lake effect is in effect, is what they say. I don't know what that means. Lake effect. They're saying it's going to be 15 to 20 degrees and potentially up to 5 inches of snow. McDaniel doesn't think it's a big deal, but not everyone is convinced. So here's the statement. The 2022 Dolphins are not built to win in Buffalo in December. Okay. Jason, that's a question. We in or we out?
I'm out. And this is my issue with this. It was reported that the Dolphins had heaters on their sidelines in California. The Chargers had heaters on their sideline too. Why are we not talking about both teams had heaters, but we're singling out Miami and saying they need the heaters? When it's cold outside, yes, put heaters on my sideline. I don't care what you need. For years, I was like, I'm wearing no sleeves out here. Doesn't matter the weather. I'm mentally tough. I was freezing. By the time I got to knowing I had 3 different thermals on, the hand pouch, give me my jacket as soon as I get to the sideline. Do whatever you need. Go out there and play. Miami's lost back-to-back games on the West Coast. Weather wasn't terrible. They lose on Saturday night. It's not going to be because of the weather. It's just going to be there playing good football.
The Los Angeles weather people are one of the most infuriating factions of the population. Somebody on our production staff who is friendly with LA tried to say to me yesterday, like, well, 55 degrees in Los Angeles is, no. 55 is the same number whether you're in Minnesota, North Carolina, Florida, or California. 55 is 55. And frankly, it's not -5, which it very well could be in Buffalo. I am in on this. I am in on the Dolphins being built. But that's only because it's not like the Bills were built for playing in Miami in September because they looked cooked in that game. Remember? It looked like they put them on the sideline where they just got baked in the sun for like at 350 for 60 minutes, and they were cooked. The Bills were not prepared for that. They may have been prepared, but they didn't look like they could handle it well down the stretch. And that might be the same thing for the Dolphins in Buffalo. I just think weather that's not like your own, that you do not practice in. There is reasons why the Patriots went to Miami on a Tuesday this year when they were going to play them on a Sunday, maybe to enjoy the weather, but also to prepare yourself for it. It's like altitude weather.
It is like that. And I'm going to say that I get lost in the aren't, are. I think they're not built right now to do it. I like to do an exercise in conversations like this where I like to pull up the rosters and see where they went to college, like if they went to cold weather. Like Raheem Mostert, okay? Purdue guy, like West Lafayette, Indiana. Jeff Wilson Jr., North Texas. Like those, they're not all Florida and Alabama. So like you like to think that maybe that's in their blood. That whole in their blood thing is nonsense. I was born and raised in Chicago. I lived in California for 16 years. You go home to Chicago, step out of O'Hare, and you're like, I want to die. I don't have anything in me right now at all. And Josh Allen has been saying this week what you're saying. He's saying you have to train in it. It's not, you can't get off the plane to get acclimated to it and fully used to it like it's your friend. You have to train in it week after week after week. I think Buffalo does have an advantage. And listen, if Marino couldn't get it done, we think Tua Tagovailoa from Hawaii is going to go to Western New York. Like, it's no big deal. Until I see it, I don't believe you. Have to show it to us.
You played for the Dolphins. Like, when you go up to those Buffalo games, I mean, it was 1 year you were there, but like, when you practice in 60 and 70 degrees, when you get off the plane, like Kyle's saying?
It's freezing, no doubt about it. But if that was the case, then the home team in cold weather games would always win, and that doesn't happen.
Did you get them late December? Like, did you go up? Because it's different than October, November.
Yeah, and it sucks. Like, what you're saying is 100% true. When you're in Miami and you're going to these teams that are freezing, it sucks. Same with what you're saying. We're in New England and you're going down to Miami in late December. It sucks. But we have won games in Miami and late December as well. So you still have to go play the game, and whichever team executes well. Because to your point, there's guys on Buffalo's roster that are from Miami and these different places. Yes, you have to practice in it, so mentally you're a little bit tougher. But on game day, whoever performs the best is going to win the game.
I remember doing a 49ers.
All right, so that was Good Morning Football. Peter Schrager, Jason McCourty, and the rest of the Good Morning Football crew on NFL Network. They're talking about the Dolphins being built for December and playing in cold weather. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was the Miami Dolphins in Saturday night. And I think personally that this roster, is built to beat the Buffalo Bills. And we already did it earlier this year. Now, people want to say, hey, look, the heat in Miami played a factor into that game. 150% it did. But for both sides, right? The Dolphins were just as emotionally and physically spent from the heat in that game the same way the Bills were. And I think the same thing will happen Saturday night. Do the Bills get a upper hand because they're playing in snow and they're used to playing in snow? Probably. Yes. There's no doubt about that. The way that when teams come down to Miami in early September and early October, they have the upper hand in those 1 o'clock games. But what I will tell you is that the Dolphins can still win, and they have won in the past in cold weather games in Miami. Nando, I want to get your take on what the Good Morning Football crew talked about this morning with the Dolphins being built to play in cold weather games. What are your thoughts about that, Nando?
I mean, I kind of understood what the point they're trying to get at, but temperature matters where you are. Like an 80-degree day in Miami is not the same as an 80-degree day in Arizona or Colorado even. You know what I'm saying? Like drier places. Like it's not the same. So but at the end of the day, Buffalo is freaking cold no matter how you slice it and dice it, man. So I think we can win? Of course, bro. Like you said, man, we won earlier in the year. Like we've played well. This is a team that I think if we actually run the ball, we could actually be built to win this kind of game, you know. Jeff Wilson, okay, they went to Texas and Purdue, not exactly cold guys, but they can still produce, and if we run the ball, I think we have an actual shot. Man, they're not gonna say copy the Patriots game plan exactly because they've ran it down Buffalo's throat and it works. Not granted, that's a team that's actually designed to play in the cold because they're from the New.
You're breaking up a little bit, Nando. You're breaking up a little bit. I think that what you're saying is spot on, correct. I think that when the Miami Dolphins go into Buffalo this weekend, I think that it's not going to be something that they're not prepared for. I don't think that will be the case. Now, I also agree with
but if we can just do something ball.
You're breaking up a little bit, Nando. I'm gonna remove you and have you come back in when you're ready to come back in, man. Hey, look, I agree. I think that who's the other guy on Good Morning Football Network? It's not Peter Schrager, the Buffalo Bills fan. I can't think of his name for the life of me. I apologize. But whoever the Buffalo Bills fan is on Good Morning Football, Jason McCourty to him hit the nail on the head in saying that, you know what, you're 100% right. 50, and it's what Nando point was just, right? 50 degrees in Arizona and 50 degrees in Florida and 50 degrees in New York are a totally different 50 degrees. But that also doesn't make the exception to the point of when you got to go up to a cold weather game and put on the pads, that the other team has to experience the same things you have to experience. And there are guys on Buffalo Bills roster that even though they're practicing and playing in it, it's still tough when you're playing game elements in it. And we all know that there's a difference between playing the game and just being out in that cold weather, right? And so I think that's going to be the big thing this weekend is I like what somebody joked about. I think it was Jason Sarney joked about it on Twitter this morning, that Penguins have no problem walking in snow or on ice. We have Jalen Waddle here this weekend, so let's go. And I'd like to think there's going to be some truth to that. Kyle Brandt, there we go. That's who it is. Kyle Brandt. Thank you. Kyle Brandt, I think some of that Buffalo Bills fan in him is I don't want to say hating, but being very overly critical, but show me that you can beat Buffalo in December. And I think that we have to do that. I think we have to do that. And I think that plays a difference into what the Miami Dolphins need to do moving forward with beating this Buffalo Bills team. If Miami comes out and beats the Buffalo Bills on Saturday night, people, the last 2 weeks, you got to just say, hey, look, it's what it is. It was a 2-game streak that sucked. But we beat Buffalo, and now we're a game behind Buffalo. Do we control our own destiny to get division? No. But now we have 2 games on them, and it would be a totally different story. So I'm not putting it out of the question that the Miami Dolphins on Saturday night in Buffalo with snow on the ground can beat the Buffalo Bills, the Miami Dolphins. Why not? Why not us? We have everything there. And if Tua can find a way to get, I don't want to say get out of his own head. I don't know if that's fair for me to say, but whatever the last 2 weeks have been, forget about it. Let's go up to Buffalo and let's make a statement on national television into the world that the Miami Dolphins are what we expected. Why not? Why can't we just flip a script like that? Yes, the Buffalo Bills are 10-3. Yes, they're one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl. But there are plenty of teams in the NFL that have been favorites to win a Super Bowl, and the underdog has beaten them for whatever reason. Why not us? We have everything. I have faith. I have faith that the Miami Dolphins can win. Not a lot of it, but I do have some faith that we can go up and do it. And part of that reason is I've seen this team overcome adversity this year. And this is just a whole other level of adversity that they're having to face. Why can't we do it? And I think that we have what it takes to do. Y'all know me. I was very critical of the San Fran game. I thought we were going to take care of business in LA. And I said, you know what? I for the most part, I'm not 100%er. For the most part, have been very spot on this year with my gut feelings. We only lost by 1 possession on Sunday night. It's not like we got blown out, and it's not like we lost because of them, in my opinion. We lost because of us, in my opinion. So I'm going to tell you right now, I think we can win, and I think we will win on Saturday night. For no other reason than we're ready to take that next step. And if they don't, for whatever reason the case is, then I will shut up for the rest of the year when it comes to making predictions. But, I mean, I just feel like we have everything we need to beat the Buffalo Bills right now. We do, 100%. We just need to turn that light switch on. And that's what needs to happen. We have all the pieces. We need to turn the light switch on. We have everything we need to do to beat them. So that's how I feel. If I had to give a percentage on how confident I am, I'm 40% confident the Miami Dolphins can beat the Buffalo Bills. And the reason it's not more than that, or not more than that, or a majority, is I understand the mentality of where this team is at right now. They are on a losing streak, and when you're on a losing streak, sometimes it's just getting out of your own head. Sometimes it's just getting out of your own heads, and I think that's what that is. Everybody, I have people in here saying I'm delusional. I'm doing this for clicks. Trash Phins can't play in cold weather. Clutch line. That's not true. When we had the worst team in the NFL, we won in New England in cold weather. We can win in cold weather. And so that's how I feel. I think we're going to win on Saturday night. I do. You can disagree with that. You don't have to like it. I think we're going to win. That's how I think it's going to happen. All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I got Nando Talk hopping on in the studio here momentarily. Do want to remind y'all to hit the like button and donate to the channel. If you donate through Cash App or PayPal in increments of $25, okay, through Cash App, which is $MSM Podcast Network, or you can do PayPal, which is also MSM Podcast Network. If you donate through increments of $25, you will be entered to win a autographed jersey of the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Christian Wilkins, who is making a name for himself, who's played absolutely amazing football this year. This guy has already earned a contract extension, in my opinion. So Friday afternoon, we're going to be giving that away to anybody who has donated in increments of $25 on Cash App and PayPal only. Okay. Cash App and PayPal only. $MSM Podcast Network or MSM Podcast Network. $25 gets you a chance to enter to win a autographed Christian Wilkins jersey, courtesy of ZSM Sports. A couple things I want to get before we get back into the Dolphins conversation here. I am a huge college football fan, love college football, and my wife went to Mississippi State, so I do want to just throw this out there and have a moment, say a prayer for Mike Leach, who passed away last night. Passed away at the age of 61, had some complications with his heart, was in the hospital over the weekend, got checked. He's the head coach of Mississippi State football. And, it's a very, very, very sad story. So, yeah, I prayers and thoughts are with the Mississippi State Bulldogs as well as his family, Mike Leach's family. Mike Leach, very controversial figure in college football, but that sucks that he passed away last night at the age of 61. Still a young guy, still was thought he was making a resurgence at Mississippi State in his college football career. For a while had a big Texas A&M was pretty big, and good guy it sucks. Just that whole situation sucks. So we'll do a moment of silence for Mike Leach. All right. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. All right, we got Nando Talk. He's going to be coming into us here momentarily at 11 a.m. We are going to have one of the YouTube goats on here. That's right, I say goats. He is one of the people in this content creator platform for Miami Dolphin fans. That's pretty big. He's pretty awesome. Pretty good guy. I'm talking about Mr. TD Finstock. Will be on at 11 a.m. So about 25 minutes from now, we'll have TD on. We're going to go over a lot of different things. We're going to have a pretty good lively debate. I think it's going to be fun. Again, if you guys want to donate to the channel, help the channel grow, you guys can do that. You guys can donate in increments of 25 on Cash App or PayPal, and you will be entered to win a autographed Jevon Holland, a autographed Christian Wilkins jersey. Sorry, Christian Wilkins jersey. Okay. William Perry with a $5 donation says, I'm a huge fan of Starkville. I have a hilarious story about the place your wife would love. R.I.P. Mike. Shout out to William Perry. Thank you, man. Love you, brother. Let's see here. Who else we got up in here today? Shout out to William Perry. You know, one of the other things that I thought was very interesting over the weekend was some of the fans' view of Teron Armstead's play. Teron Armstead, obviously last minute saying that he's going to play on that Sunday night game. And I was very I didn't think he played that great of a game, to be perfectly honest with you. I thought looked like he was getting beat for some of that game. So one of the things that I hope to plan and talk with TD about, as well as I've been trying to get from other people, is what their thoughts of Teron Armstead was on Sunday night against the Chargers. And I thought it was very interesting to see that he just didn't play well. Was that due to his pec, or was that due to him just getting beat? But for the first time all year, I saw him not really have a dominant game. I thought that was interesting. Thought that was very interesting. And so I wanted to see what y'all thought about that. Teron Armstead, his play on Saturday night. The Dolphins last week signed former first round overall pick. I think he was the first overall pick, Eric Fisher. And I think he dressed. I don't think he got any playing time, but I think he dressed on Sunday night. So I thought that was interesting to see. Teron Armstead, that pec issue that he has, how will that play in effect? It looked like he was getting bullied to me. It had to be his injury. I have not seen him really play that badly his entire career. So, but was it his pec? Was it his pec injury? And how bad? If you're the coach and you see that on film, do you go to him and say, you are not yourself, you're hurting us more than you're helping us? Or is a 50% Teron Armstead better than anybody else we're going to plug into that left side of the line? I'm interested to know what you guys think of that. So, whatever you guys think, let us know. Put it in the chat right now. Is a 50% Armstead better than anybody else that we would plug in? Or would you rather see Eric Fisher get some playing time out there? And do you think the injury played a part in Armstead's, not good playing time on Sunday night? Omar Castro said it was his pec, shoulder, toe. Oh, my goodness. Let's see here. Phins take with CB83. What's good, family? Phins family, don't let the wolf pack get you off the boat. I'm riding with our guys. We'll right the ship. Join the MSM family. 10,000 we're growing. Get on the ground level. Love it, man. Love it. Let's see here. Plus, he's hurt. We can't expect a lot. Armstead was the worst offensive lineman, but I have to give him huge credit for even playing. Omar Castro said he was getting bullied, but it has to be his injury, and the fact that he went to play is amazing. So it sounds like you guys appreciated that he played. Appreciated that he plays. Teron needs to stay in the lineup. Yes, I would take a 40% Armstead. Very, very interesting. I'm waiting to get Nando talk up here. All right. Let's see here. I believe he started last Sunday. Yes, correct. I just want to say Aguilar making sure. Yes, so that was very interesting. So last night during the game in Arizona, which sucked, by the way, seeing New England win, Devontae Parker had a concussion, clear as day. Gets up, starts getting in position for the next play, and you can clearly see him wobbling and not being two. And Nelson Aguilar coming from the others, or pretty much saying, you guys need to stop and let him off the field. It's one of those things that we look at the Tua injury earlier this year, and even the Teddy Bridgewater situation that he was out for the rest of the game. And you're like, what is going on? Why is it with some players they're not looking, or they are? But it was clear as day last night that Devontae Parker, the game should have been called. And, it was really interesting to see that whole situation last night, that Aguilar had to stop the play in order for Devontae Parker to get off the field. Absolutely unreal. So, I mean, that's one of the things that I hope in the offseason they look at, along with the roughing the passer penalty that I do believe should be looked at. You should be allowed to replay roughing the passer penalties, because what we saw on Sunday night, we could have had an extra 3 minutes, which I think would have made the game totally different. And so I was really upset about that roughing the passer situation. So I don't know how they're, calling penalties, or how they're calling guys to have concussions or non-concussions, but there needs to be some sense of continuity there, and there just isn't. And I don't know if it's the officials or the NFL or whatever the case is, but it's not good, and it's frustrating. It's very, very frustrating. All right, man. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. The man, the myth, the legend, Nando talk. What's up, Nando?
Oh, what's up, Steven? I thought you were about to talk about yourself a little bit longer,
No, I would never do that, man.
I
Never
appreciate
do that,
the
man.
intro, man. How you doing today, bud?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for finally joining us, man. You
Yeah,
had
so-
a busy morning.
Yeah, dude. $150 in an hour, man. I will never, ever, ever, ever say no to that.
You're
Shout
not
out.
going to turn down for the money. I got you. You
Shout
was
out
out
my
here. You were
homie.
helping a friend, and you got paid to do it. So I'm
Oh,
not
he
mad
helped
at
me
you.
big time too, so it was a fun time, bro.
All right.
but
So
We're good
let's
to go.
you were talking about the weather on Saturday night, and I
Yes.
just want you to finish your statement about the weather on Saturday night when you were in the car. And
Gotcha.
talking
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. So I was, I broke up a little bit at the end, but what I was just trying to say is, you're right that, like, no matter where we are, like the weather is different from city to city, state to state, area to area, but both teams experience that weather. Say what you want about Buffalo having a little bit more of an advantage for the cold. That cold still affects both of them. Like -5 degrees is not pleasant for anyone. You don't train for that. You can get a little used to it, but it's still going to suck for both teams. We can come together, run the ball, have a good game plan, man. Please make some good adjustments. Steven, I think we can win, bro.
I 100% think we can win, man.
We have to. There's no
Am I
other
am I
option. Like
confident?
it's win or
I said
die.
I'm
You
about-
know,
I think
And
I'm about
never say
40% confident right now that we can beat them. Because I feel like that 60% isn't anything more than, I'll be honest, I think weather's going to play a difference. And I will also, not that I don't think that we can win because of the weather. I think we 100% can overcome that factor, but I think it's a mental thing. And I don't know what's been
All
going on.
mental.
I don't have, people are like asking me what has happened. Like I was talking with Solo D yesterday. And Solo D and I are on the phone. He's like, dude, can you tell me what's going on? Like, I have no idea what happened with the Dolphins the last
Yeah, he was
game.
there, right?
And he was at both games. And I said, dude, you saw what I saw. I said, you saw it in person. I said, the only thing I can attribute it to is mental. It's a mental thing. Because
Which
the plays, in my opinion, were called for the most part correct. The plays were there. The moments were there. We had every opportunity. We just did not execute. And when execution doesn't happen, to me, that's a mental thing.
unfortunately, bro, that sucks though. Like 2 opportunities wasted in 2 consecutive weeks. Like I understand why it's tough, and it comes down to mental. Because now it's win or die, Steven. It's win.
Well, it's not win or die. So I want to remind everybody this. If the Dolphins lose to the Bills, but beat Green Bay, the Patriots, and the Jets, they will make the playoffs. If the Dolphins lose to the Bills and to Green Bay, but then beat the Patriots and the Jets, they will still make the playoffs. The Dolphins are in control of their own destiny right now.
For once.
If the Dolphins go on to lose the next 2, God forbid, knock on wood, I don't see that happening, by the way. They will still get in as long as they beat the Jets and the Bills. They control their own destiny. Okay. They just need to beat the Jets and the Bills, and they will be in the playoffs. Now, is that good enough for me? No. I but will I be cheering them on? Will I be there every step of the way? 100%. Okay. So if the Dolphins beat the Jets and the Bills, or the Jets and the Patriots, they will still get into the playoffs in the 7th seed.
How beautiful.
Comfortably, right? Like there's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. We control our own destiny. So, but we've been in this situation before the last couple of years, right? Where we control our own destiny and we don't win the games that we need to win. So now here we are with 4 weeks left. We got Buffalo in a snow game. We get Green Bay at home in a nationally televised game on Christmas Day. So hopefully they don't ruin Christmas for me. Don't ruin Christmas for me, Dolphins.
That'd be so mean.
Don't do that. And who knows if we're playing Jordan Love or we're going to be playing Aaron Rodgers. I have no idea who we're going to be playing.
I kind of hope it's Rodgers, bro. Just one, because I'm going to the game, but two, because he's looking a little mortal this year, and I don't know what Jordan Love can put in the tank. You know what I'm saying?
Jordan Love, when he's come in, he's looked pretty good, right?
That's what I'm saying.
And then from the standpoint of the Jets and the Patriots, we got to go up to New England and play that game. Shout out to Eric Carrier. Dolph fans of Southern New England, they're going to be hosting a huge tailgate up there. If you guys want to go do that, reach out to the Dolph fans of Southern New England for that. It's going to be awesome. But look, the Dolphins control their own destiny to get into the playoffs, which is at the end of the day. If you asked us at the beginning of the year, hey, Dolphins are 8-5 going into the last 4. They need to win 2 out of the last 4 against their division rivals in order to get in. And we asked, are one of those 2 the Bills? And they say, no, you don't have to beat the Bills in order for that to be. We're going to raise our hand and take that 10 out of 10 times.
10 out of 10 times, man.
We're going to be like, let's go. Right?
That's the good timeline.
And you get the 10 wins that way. Now, I still think we're going to beat Green Bay. Just want to throw that out there. It's going to be interesting. Green True says Patriots, Jets, Chargers, and Miami control their own destiny at this point. Correct. They do. The Patriots, Jets, and Miami. But that's because Patriots, Jets, and Miami all play each other now at this point. So that's why they control their own destiny, because if you win, you're getting in. Keep winning. The rule of the game is win, and you're in. And for the Dolphins, if they beat Buffalo, they have a legit shot still at the division to a certain extent, as long as Buffalo loses one more game in the last 3. So, look, I'm not counting out the Buffalo game this weekend, but I also know, God forbid, that it doesn't come to fruition. Our season is not over, y'all.
I didn't know that. Honestly.
Our season is not over. We
I
can
was going
lose.
win or die, bro.
I don't want to lose. I don't think we're going to lose. I just want to say that.
What would you see at it from a morale standpoint, though? Because numbers are numbers, but like
for the team or the fans, because there's a difference.
There is a difference. What is the difference
for the team? Let me start with the team. For the team, God forbid they lose on Saturday. They had a 3-game losing streak, but then they win their last 3. I don't think that's going to matter.
Yeah,
for me, it's a light switch thing for them.
Dang.
Do I think that the Chargers are better than us? No. I don't. If Tua had showed up, we would have beat the crap out of them on Sunday night. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, we lost by 6 and Tua's terrible game. One of Tua's worst games.
And by the way, if they didn't have that roughing the passer penalty, the BS roughing the passer penalty, we would have had an extra 3 minutes on the clock because they would have had to punt. And we would have got an extra 3 minutes. They held the ball for another 3 minutes after that.
Poor Jalen Phillips. Absolutely.
So we get that back. We get an extra 3 minutes. So now it's 4 minutes. You don't think we're getting the ball back again, even after a kickoff? Come on, bro. We're doing it.
We almost got the onside back.
We almost got the onside back, right? So I don't. Do I think San Francisco is better than us? That's argumentative. That's debatable. I won't sit here and say one way or the other. They beat us. Yeah, they beat us with Purdy. I was skeptical about that game before it even happened. But I thought with everything we had, we were going to beat the Chargers. The world thought we were going to beat the Chargers. Everybody thought they were going to be the Chargers. Okay? So we didn't do it. We did not do it, is the fact of the matter. But now we have 4 games left. We get Buffalo on Saturday in Buffalo. To me, we have everything we need to do. So from a player's perspective, the players, even if they lose on Saturday, God forbid, to me, it's just a light switch thing. And once they get it back on, they're off to the races. That's how I look at it. With the fan base, because Ali Dolfreaky and I were talking about this for the party on Saturday night, that we're a little worried about some of the fans feeling motivated for the Dolphins on a Saturday night snow game. How is this going to look? And so I think that from a fan standpoint, if the Dolphins beat the Bills, I personally like to think that they'll say, all right, forget the last 2. We'll chalk it up to it was bad games. If they lose to Buffalo and we go on a 3-game losing streak, the Dolphins are going to have to win their next 3 in order for the fan base to be like, all right, we have a shot at winning a playoff game. They have to beat Green Bay, Buffalo, or they have to beat Green Bay, the Jets, and the Patriots, or Patriots and Jets. That's going to have to happen.
Yeah, dang.
I don't think by the way, even if we lose on Saturday, I don't think it'll be a blowout. I just want to throw that out there. It will not be a blowout.
We need to be competitive.
People are saying we're going to get blowed out. That's not going to happen.
Buffalo, I mean, they have the advantage, but they haven't looked amazing in recent weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they lost by 8 points to the Jets, or they won by 8 points to the Jets. And they lost a few weeks prior to the Jets. So the Jets have played them really well. Now, the Jets beat us by 40. I get that. I understand. But that was without Tua. And you don't think we're going to want to take care of business? I'm telling you right now, we're going to embarrass the Jets come January 8th because of what they did to us in New York.
That little stupid little waddle, bro.
So
they're just literally mocking us.
My opinion, Dolphins win 3 out of the next 4. Okay. We can beat Buffalo. But I don't see us losing more than twice. I don't think, like, we're going to get into the playoffs. I am 100% confident the Miami Dolphins get into the playoffs.
Yes. Like
100% confident.
I think what some people are worried about is like, is I think we'll get to the playoffs. I think some people are worried about is like, what's going to happen when we get there? Like, depending on who we face.
They don't want a 62-7 game.
Yeah, they don't want what happened to the Patriots, Bills last year. And I'm saying, like,
I don't think that will be the case personally. Because we know that our team can put up numbers. For some reason, they haven't done it the last 2 weeks. Again,
no matter who we play
the plays weren't there.
Like, you think no matter who we play against, we'll be fine. We'll be able to handle our business.
100%. I don't care if it's the Chiefs.
There we go, Steven. I like that.
I'm confident in my football team. I'm not. Am I a homer? Probably. But I am very confident in what the team is and what they can become.
Good to go.
And they have shown at times there's 2 things they haven't done this year. They have not put it together for 4 quarters, which sucks. Right?
Terrible, bro.
I think that's holding us back. Okay. And I also think that the other thing that they haven't done either is walk into the game, just know we got this game. We're going to do everything we can to win this game. We got it. I think every game they've walked into, and that includes the Texans game, I don't think they walked into that game feeling 100% confident. They came into they put up 30 points in the first half, and in the second half, I don't know what happened. They took their foot off the gas. It was crazy. And by the way, that was after the bye week. So and Tua didn't look 100% in that game either. So since the bye week, I just want to throw that out there with you. Since the bye week, Tua has been off.
Has not been pretty at all the last couple of weeks. Like it's okay to say that, you know, he's not looked good. It's more of the fact that, do you think he can turn it on? I think he'll be confident.
Yeah, I do. He has this year. There's no reason for me to switch. That the way the switch turned off, it can turn right back on.
Yeah. No
reason for me to think otherwise.
I mean, I get it. It's blind fandom, boss. But like at the end of the day, like it's all we have. You know, we don't play, we don't coach. Like I just gotta hope the switch comes back on. And if it comes on against Buffalo, now it's not gonna be a crazy throwing game because of the weather. But if he can, you know, do what he has to do, play a clean game again, then we're fine, man. Like, I'm not saying it's like we're gonna easily win, but I agree. I don't think we're gonna get blown out. Like, whether we win or lose, I think it's gonna be a competitive game.
Yeah, 100%. All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I want to remind you guys, if you donate through Cash App or PayPal in increments of $25, you will be entered to win a Christian Wilkins autographed jersey, courtesy of ZSM Sports. So that's a really awesome jersey you see there. It's that throwback Christian Wilkins, courtesy of ZSM Sports, the #1 place to get your cards, jerseys, balls, and hard-to-find items. give a shout out to ZSM and Zachary at ZSM Sports today. So donate through Cash App and PayPal only in increments of $25, and you will get entered to win a autographed jersey of Christian Wilkins. Let's go. Love it. What do you we got a really cool guest coming up here in the top of the hour. In about 5 minutes he'll be on. Pretty excited to have TD Phins talk on and debate with them a little bit. It'll be very interesting because I think that some of the fan base obviously sides with one of the YouTubers, and some of the fan base sides with other YouTubers, and it's great to bring both these worlds together and have a lively debate. What are your I know that you've been very critical on social media of critical fans or overly critical fans over the last 2-game losing streak. What is your thoughts about the fans who have been very who have voiced their displeasure about the team in a negative way over the last 2 weeks?
Well, I wouldn't say I've been critical of the fans. I always like to put somewhere in the video, fans are allowed to fan however they please. All I'm like, there's no right way or wrong way to fan. All I'm asking, if you'll allow me, got my fin up, bro. I always have my fin up.
I know.
Like I think that you can fan however you want. I'm just choosing to fan as a hopeful person and hope that we're going to win. Hope we're going to turn back on the switch. Hope that we can go into Buffalo and figure it out. Hope that we beat the Packers, the Patriots, the Jets, at home, away, or home, like what other, like you could choose to not, and that's fine. That's your decision. But then you're going to have our players saying like, what the heck is wrong with the switch up, blah, 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 whatever, this, yada, yada. Or you can just choose to hope we win and just ride with the season and see what happens. Like at the end of the day, whether we hope to win or lose, Steven, like nothing changes. That doesn't change the impact of the game. It doesn't sway Mike McDaniel, doesn't sway Tua, Holland. They're going to play football. They're going to coach their game. We're just here to fan, so do it however you want. I just think that it's smarter to just channel your energy into being positive and hopeful that your team, your game is going to work out well, because it's football at the end of the day, man. It's a sport. It's my happy place, like I assume it is everyone's happy place to escape. That's why you watch football. Why would I go with the mentality, God, this is going to suck? I like, what is this, school, work? No, it's football. It's a fun time, man. Like it's even at the worst football games, like, yeah, dude, it sucks. But I always leave a Dolphins game with my buddy saying, hey man, didn't we have fun? Didn't we just have fun drinking some beers in the lot, talking the game? It's
by the way, I'm glad you said that. Little great segue, because Saturday night, we're going to have an awesome time at Vasasaur in Wynwood. We're going to be hosting a watch party. Dolph Freaky and myself and some of the crew of Miami Sports Music will be there. I think, Nando, you're going to be there, right? You're going to be hanging out with us?
Pretty sure, man. My finals week does end Friday, unless, yeah. So that should be good.
Awesome, man. I'm excited. We're gonna have some of the Miami Sports Music crew. Cameron's gonna be there. Hopefully our girl Tamaris will be there.
Let's go.
So I'm pretty excited about that. And I'm trying to get CB83 to come. I don't know if he is, and Batman hopefully will be there too. So we're gonna have a lot of the Miami Sports Music crew there. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And we just got the announcement that we're going to have Miami Dolphins cheerleaders at the event too. So we're gonna have a good time. Vasasaur in Wynwood, watch party hosted by myself and Dolph Freaky. We're gonna have prizes, giveaways, as well as raffles for you to do as well. And a portion of the beer sold there that night are going to be going to Allie's charity, Dolph Freaky's Friends.
Let's go.
To help the kids. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be awesome. We want to see you there. Who's coming out? Put it in the chat if you're coming to hang out with us.
I'm going to RSVP now.
Yeah. RSVP. Matter of fact, I had it. Here is. If you go into Tail Greeter and go into Vasasaur, type in Vasasaur, you will see the link. But here's the link. I'm going to put it in here right now. Copy and drop the link in the chat for you guys. Go ahead and RSVP now. Come out and hang out. Definitely want to see who's going to come out and see there. YouTube said he's going to be there. Oh, like it. Who else is going to be there? Put it in the chat right now if you're coming to hang out with us. All right. TD just said he's going to be on in about 2 minutes. Pretty excited about that. Want to remind you guys for tonight, or the schedule we got coming up for the weekend in the evening. We have evening shows here at Miami Sports Music. That's right. Tuesday night, we got the Dirty South Fantasy Football Show hosted by Eric the Commissioner and Lorenzo Ice-T. A lot of you remember Lorenzo Ice-T Thomas and know him. He's big Miami Dolphins fan. Sits with Big Papa Pump at the games and covers the Miami Dolphins and big in the hip-hop community down in South Florida. But he does a fantasy football show right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. To my Spanish-speaking Miami Dolphins fans, hell Phins, each and every Tuesday night starting at 9 p.m. I got the Spanish-speaking Dolphins from Dolphin Nation, Mexico, and they do a great show. And then Wednesday, we got Batman, the Phinsaholic show at 8:30. Jason Sarney with Thursday night kickoff and Nonus with Nonus nights on Thursday night. And then Friday afternoon, my man Nando talk with the Lunchtime Rewind. That's a great show, isn't it, Nando? Love doing that. Friday afternoons. And then I got my man Finn's Take with CB83 on Friday nights at 8:30 p.m. So you get me in the mornings. Clock Blockers, the #1 Miami fan morning show each and every morning, usually around 9:30 a.m. And we go on till a little noon or a little afternoon during the day. We're going to push it back a little bit today because we're going to have our boy TD on. And then, yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. And then we got the afternoon shows too. So
before we let TD on real quick, I was about to type something in the chat. So someone was just saying that like, freaking will I be this optimistic in 20 years, 40 years, 30 years, whatever? My first sports love, Mr. Steven, is the Peruvian national soccer team, which like we made our first World Cup appearance in 2018 since 1978, since my dad was 10 years old. 5th time in 100 years. Okay, my team has never won a World Cup game in my lifetime. Okay, I still love my team. I still root for them every time the soccer's on. That's how I love and live with the Miami Dolphins. That's the mentality I come in for football. It's from football, passion and love. So always bright and optimistic. And now we've got a legend coming in, Mr. TD.
Mr. TD Fins Talk, ladies and gentlemen. What's up?
I stole your segment.
Hello, baby. How are you?
How's it going, boss?
I'm great. I'm just trying to recover from the weekend.
Tough one.
Yeah, my body's aching. I'm tired.
Your body's aching. It's sore. Is it hurt? Did you get hit?
Yeah, man. I did a lot of yelling.
That's not what I heard. I heard you were cheering the whole weekend and you were positive the whole weekend.
Oh yeah, I was the whole game. If you watch my stream, the whole game, it's all right. We're gonna be all right. He gonna get it done. I was his biggest fan on Sunday when everybody was dogging him during the game, just out of hope of winning, but it didn't work out.
All right, it is Hot Take Tuesday right here on Clock Blockers. Normally we have Nikki Smokes, and I was really excited about having Nikki on because he was pretty heated on social media this weekend too. He couldn't come on, so I was like, "Who can I get on that's been taking social media by storm and the YouTube world by storm?" And I said, "Who? None other than one of my best friends in the world. Let me bring in Mr. TD Fins Talk." And
I was shocked when you reached out, man. You told me you didn't want me on the show anymore.
Man, I've never said such a thing. I've never said those words in my life. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? No, first of all, before we get started, I just want to say congratulations on the baby, man.
Hey, congrats, man.
Your family. Okay, awesome. Beautiful thing.
What baby?
What baby? What baby? You I guess that was somebody else's baby then, huh? That you just posted on social media and stuff, huh?
Yeah, man. I got a surprise when the test came back, so
Maury. Don't tell your wife that, man. That's the milkman's kid, the mailman's kid, right?
No,
all right, man. Let me stop, man. I'm super excited.
Let me stop.
No, my daughter just had her birthday today. She turned 7, so we did.
Oh, happy birthday! Doug's baby just had a birthday. Doug's baby just had a birthday too.
Oh, well, shout out to Dougly Do Wrong and look at us all with kids and birthdays. And Nando, get out of here. You ain't got no kids. We out here making
congratulating you guys.
What's up, Nando?
How's it going, TD, man? Appreciate it, man. An honor. Second time I've ever talked to you. So there we go, man.
Man, I'm happy to be on with you fellas, man.
All right. Well, let's get into it, shall we? So the Miami Dolphins coming off a 2-game losing streak. You know, and I've been very critical of him this week. I was off all last week. I was on vacation. We just hit 10,000 subscribers, by the way. Let me say that real quick too, TD. I would not have got to 10,000 without you, my guys. So thank you, man. Thank you.
Bro, man, you put that work in. All them conversations we had, man. Look at that. Look at that, man. That's crazy. And that's just the beginning.
What people don't know is TD and I talk off the air a lot. We haven't in the last few weeks because we've just been crazy. Him with the new baby and everything.
He's been too neared out. That's why we ain't been talking, y'all.
True.
That's all it is.
Little friction. Blasphemous. But TD's a big reason that you know, he helped me get to the 10,000 and motivated me and was there when I needed to make some calls in late night. So you're a big reason for this, man. Shout out to you, big homie.
Congrats, bro.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But to get back to the Dolphins, the last 2 weeks have been rough, right? And so I've been the first one to say Tua's the guy. Tua is the reason why we have lost the last 2 weeks. If Tua played better, we win both these games. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. Okay. Are there other reasons why we lost? Yes. We can go to some coaching play calling on offense and defense. We can go to some personnel decisions. We can go to some injuries, whatever the case is. Is it 100% on Tua? No. But I'm going to put a majority of the blame on him. And I'm a big Tua-neer, as people like to put it in the fan base. But I think that it's been rightfully deserved. He has not showed up and didn't show up on Sunday night, especially in the first half against the Chargers. So my first question to you, TD, is what's up with Tua and why has he not shown up the last 2 weeks? And what's going on? Because to be perfectly honest, since the bye week, he's been off. And that includes the Houston Texans game.
First of all, nothing's wrong with Tua. I don't know why y'all do this to y'allself. There ain't nothing wrong with him. Tua is being Tua. He has not been off the last 2 weeks. He has played. You gonna listen?
You don't see the missed throws that he didn't do?
Are you gonna listen?
I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna be quiet. Go ahead.
He has not been off the last 2 weeks. Y'all just want to believe when he was playing well, it was because of him. That's on y'all. It is simply because of the defenses we have been playing in the scheme they have been running. Tua's weaknesses went on full display in the last 2 weeks, and shame on the idiot teams that never attacked his weaknesses all season, except Pittsburgh. They attacked it. New England in week 1, they attacked it. Those are the only teams that attacked it, and he didn't do well in those games if you go back and look. So he's being Tua. Why y'all get Mike McDaniel created? Listen, let me help you understand what's happening. It's the system. Teams feared Tyreek Hill. Teams leave the middle of the field so wide open in fear of Tyreek Hill. I mean, between the linebackers and the safeties, 1 second after the play starts, there is a 30-yard gap of emptiness. You have never seen that. Not typically in the NFL. And what happens is there's nobody between Tua and Tyreek, Tua and Waddle. Tua has never had a problem looking at you in your eyes and throwing a bullet to you. Tua has a problem with his velocity, not the look at my hand, Steven.
Mm-hmm.
Tua's excellent. Tua's trash. You see the different trajectory? Bullet straight to the man, excellent. Touch on the pass, trash. Not only that,
a lot of throws this year over 20 plus yards that were like,
yeah, but guess what? It was a window. See, here's the difference. A defender here, a defender here. My face is a window. Throw it straight to my face. He's made a lot of those passes. Now look at this. Defender here, look at my face. He can't throw that bullet straight to me. He has to teardrop it over. That's what he hasn't done this year because he hasn't had to, because defenses haven't played him like that. So Let me give you two different situations. San Francisco, they exposed his lack of being able to throw touch passes over the defender. They just dropped the linebackers back in that lane and said, make the pass over the linebacker under the safety. And he was identifying the right person to go to, and that I give him credit for identifying where to go with the ball. He struggled for 2 years with that. He's done an excellent job identifying where to go with the ball. And that he was phenomenal against San Francisco, identifying where to go with the ball. But the problem is he didn't have his same easy straight path pass. He had to actually use arm talent, which is something Tua doesn't have that y'all think he has because he gets a whole bunch of straight line completions.
We're talking about the guy who's leading the NFL
you're not listening.
And passing yards per pass.
You're not listening. You're not listening, Steven. It's Steven. If they took in a 40-yard dash, okay, I'm a pretty slow guy because I'm a bigger guy now. Okay, when I was younger, I could probably run a 40 in 5 seconds, and that's still slow. Okay, but now I'm probably running a 40 in 6. Okay, if they ask me to run a 40-yard dash, okay, and it's in 6 seconds, and then they put those things you jump over in track?
The little like hurdle thingies?
Yeah, the hurdles.
Yeah.
They put 2 of those along the way on the 40-yard dash. Steven, I'm gonna end up with 8 seconds, bro. So all I'm saying to you is if all you've seen is a clear 40-yard dash and I'm running my 6, you're like, man, you're hitting that 6 consistently. You're a 6, bro. And just because you get 2 games and 2 games only of some hurdles in your way, now you're an 8 and you look like trash. But now what, I'm supposed to walk around here and be like, what are you talking about? That's just a bump in the road. He's been a 6 all year. That's what he is. No, you are what the defense makes you. You are, and that's the problem with Tua. He is what the defense makes him. Great quarterbacks are what they make the defense. And that's the difference. I had to see that 6 seconds. You might be right. I might be 50 seconds. I ain't going to sit here and debate with y'all. I might be 50 seconds. But Steven, y'all could sit around here and talk about number 1 QBR, number 1 this, number 1 that.
Quarterback rating. I'm not talking about completion percentage.
Whatever you want to use. Whatever you want to use is a product of Mike McDaniel taking advantage of the speed, having wide open fields, windows, teams playing zone.
Let me pause you for a second. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a series of questions here. When you take away the middle on the defense, what ends up being the vulnerability when you take away the middle? What happens to the defense then? There's got to be a vulnerability somewhere on the defense.
When the defense takes away the middle?
Yes.
Then your vulnerability is over the top or outside the numbers.
Okay. So
or the run game.
Or the run game or throwing into the flat those first 5-10 yards, right? Okay. Why did the Dolphins not, or Tua, or the game plan, or whatever, especially in the Chargers game, them not do that? Because it's exactly what the Chargers were doing to us.
Easy answer. Mike McDaniel studied Tua Tagovailoa. Go look at the PFF report of every quarterback last year. Tua Tagovailoa, shockingly, was one of the worst-rated quarterbacks throwing in the flat. Early this year, he was one of the worst-rated quarterbacks throwing in the flat. Y'all need to look at your eyes. Go look at every pass he throws in the flat. Just because you didn't see it yesterday and you were like, well, open up the flat. No, go back in the past this year and look at the flat throws. For some reason, it's shocking to me.
So you're saying that's why they didn't adjust to it?
Mike McDaniel has created a system to only put Tua Tagovailoa in a situation that he will thrive in, like every coach.
Are we talking about the same quarterback that everybody said he can't throw past 5 yards for the first 2 years of his career?
Yeah, but you have to understand that was all between 0 to 9 yards, Steven. All the behind the line, the scrimmage yards, even with Flores and them, he was bad. He was bad. Think about what you saw with Flores when he threw in the flat. It was never a lead pass. They had to do a 360. They had to jump off their feet, and the defense came easy. Bro, I studied this. Trust me when I tell you. Tua Tagovailoa is a bad quarterback throwing in the flat for whatever crazy, stupid reason.
All right, so have I watched as much game tape as you? No, I have not. But I know that the the wording on him for the first 2 years was Tua can't throw past 5 to 7 yards. All he does is if a
That's not true. That's not true.
That's what
No,
everybody said for the first
you're being disingenuous and you're playing with the numbers. You just said 5 to 7 yards when that's all he did. The knock on him was he can't throw past 10, 15 yards. Tua lived.
All he was throwing was 5. His completion percentage was up those first 2 years too.
And he's excellent in 5 to 7. He's Sunday night then, TD, because they weren't running it. You just said you can't
what he was doing it the first 2 years.
Because he was great throwing 5 to 7 yard passes right in front of him over the middle. They took away the middle.
I want to go back
and let's get something straight. Let's just
how do we adjust to that then? Like, what do we just is this going to be the rest of the season? Like,
no. Well, see, Nando, this is the conversation nobody want to have. It ain't us adjusting to it. It's the defense we play. What will they do? See, if they come out there like the Lions in a cover 2 zone, Tua is going to destroy every team in front of him.
Okay, assume they come out like the Chargers and the Niners. Like, what do we do? Are we just screwed?
You can't fix Tua's flaws. That's the problem. Mike McDaniel, see, Steven, this is what y'all don't want to admit. Mike McDaniel has created a system to hide his flaws. That's what you're supposed to do to a quarterback. But the problem is when you take that away, Tua don't have enough things he could switch to. He's very limited, but you can make it work in certain situations.
Run game.
We don't have that. You're not going to get that miraculously tomorrow.
All right, hold on. Let's go back to Sunday night for a second. Sunday night, they started doing this at the beginning of the game. There were no adjustments made, in my opinion. Am I wrong?
What are you going to adjust to? I told everybody on the stream, the only way you're going to beat that man coverage is if you start doing trips bunch. And what was happening? The problem with Mike McDaniel's system, he has too many routes. See, Sunday's game would have been perfect for Flores' system and Tua. And I screw Flores. How about that? So don't think I'm trying to be biased. It would have been perfect. But Mike McDaniel's system has a little bit more depth on the routes because he needs to stress the defense.
If McDaniel's a genius that we all say he is, and by the way, I think that he is, why not make the adjustment against the Chargers at halftime and do it differently?
You're saying there's nothing to adjust to, right?
Because you haven't prepared your team. Don't play that. That ain't the new offense. That's why we ran RPO 50% of the time. They tried to go to a little bit of the Flores stuff. But you know what they did to alleviate that? Man coverage. And I told y'all, Tua is the worst quarterback when it comes to man coverage. I told y'all, now, he's great when it's man coverage cushion. But everybody asked me on my channel, well, TD, this offense is unstoppable. How would you stop this offense? Because I don't think anybody could. I've been telling everybody all year. As soon as we run into a team that plays man press coverage and put their hands on them receivers, we will get annihilated. Man, ain't nobody gonna press Tyreek. He gonna blow right past them. They small. What are y'all? I told y'all this when we got Tyreek. I said they are small. They are talented, but anybody put their hands on Tyreek or Waddle, they stumbling. They are small. The only way you alleviate that is send them in motion. But guess what? Every time they put Tyreek or Waddle in motion, they bracketed them and gave them help, and everybody else man to man. The only way you get free is if you send them in motion where they can get a free release off the line. Our receivers, if they were big, fast receivers, then it's different. You ain't finna be pressing no Devontae Adams. You ain't pressing no big body guy because you done at the line of scrimmage. Tyreek, that's easy money. And tell me I'm wrong. Go watch
Tyreek.
Nando, go watch.
Yes. Like,
excuse me, Nando, go watch the film. 10 times Tyreek got bumped off his spot. Do you wonder why Tua?
He had a messed up ankle.
How many times before after? No, I agree. Some were before the ankle. Some were before the ankle. But how many before and after?
No, this ain't got nothing. This ain't got nothing to do with your ankle. This is, bro, they were bumping you off the spot, and you still were running.
You flag throwing a lot.
No, you can't, Steven. See, let me tell you. No. Let me tell you something.
Doing the whole game.
No, that's not true. Let me tell you something y'all forgot about because y'all so used to these free receivers running free and wide open. You forgot that it is legal to put your hands and jam and hit them wide receivers all you want in the first 5 yards. They start calling in the fourth quarter because they were getting 6, 7, 8 yards into the route and still putting their hands on. They weren't doing. You know why they weren't doing it? Because I saw the film late last night. And Tyreek was on the ground most of the time. So they didn't have to do that. Soon as they said hike, they would jam them. They stumble into the ground.
Are you telling me that the Chargers have the blueprint on how to beat the Dolphins for the rest of the year?
Anybody has that blueprint. It's just a matter of if you're going to execute it. They were third stringers. It had nothing to do with the personnel. It was the game plan. That game plan against this offense will obliterate it every time because of Tua's weaknesses. Man coverage, look. It's too much proof in this game. I could see if this game was a little anomaly, but this game gave you all the evidential proof to what I've been telling y'all all this time, but you'll still ignore it, and I'm trying to break it down to you now. Open your mind and look at the logic here, okay?
I'm trying.
Listen, okay? Let me tell you what they relied on. In man-to-man coverage, 4 things have to happen. The line has to protect. The wide receiver has to run the perfect route. The quarterback has to throw a perfect dime. And quarterback, wide receiver, and the receivers also have to win their battle. Okay? Now watch this. All you need is one of those things to go wrong in man-to-man coverage.
Mm-hmm.
You lost the play. So this is what happened on Sunday. Hike, O-line got blown up. Teron Armstead looked like trash, and his left and the left guard looked like trash too. But Hike, guy coming right into his face. Crap. We don't care what happened there with the receivers and stuff. One thing went wrong. That play was done. Second play, Hike, receiver got bumped on the ground. Line actually held up. Tua is a spot thrower. How many times in that game did we see Tua throw the ball? It went to a spot and not even a receiver in sight. How many times did we see that?
A few. We saw it.
Why did you? Now you have to ask yourself, why did you see that? I've been telling y'all Tua is a spot thrower. That's where his receiver was supposed to be. But go back and look at the replay. Tyreek is sitting on the ground. He got knocked on the ground. That's why it was like, dang, where were you throwing, Tua? No, Tua was doing exactly what he know to do. Tyreek should be there by the time that ball get there. But since he got bumped at the line of scrimmage and he on the ground and he get up and he looking around, we all thinking, what is Tua doing? Tua doing exactly what McDaniel taught him to do, throw to a spot with timing and rhythm because we are a timing offense. Tua cannot read the field post-snap. If he was able to read the field post-snap, he would have hiked the ball, surveyed, and noticed Tyreek failed and went to another option. That's why you saw it about 5 to 7 times in the game. Tua throw to an empty spot.
We're not just going to walk over that statement. Are you telling me with that statement that Tua doesn't read his progressions?
See, he doesn't. Y'all think he do.
Oh my God, TD.
Steven, I understand.
Under pressure, he's been crumbling, man, but he doesn't know how to read it.
This is what I see all these people on social media posting. Look at Tua go through his progressions on this play. Blah, blah, blah.
You clearly see that he goes through his progressions.
When he's got time or he's making the time, man. Like,
y'all think he is. This is what's happening with Tua.
He sucked on Sunday.
How many times did you see this from Tua in his career? A matter of fact, Tua hikes the ball. He looks right at the safety. He throws his arm up, and he throws the ball on the opposite side without even looking. How many times have you seen that? And people want to, look at him, look off to the right at the first progression. Then he sees the guy open. Shut up. He didn't see him open. The ball was out his hand before he even formally turned. That's not progressions. That's already know I'm going to hit this slant on the back end, but let me pull the linebackers over. Hike. It's called mechanics. But the problem is, he has moments where he pulls that. He'll
like
hike the ball.
Pass? Yeah. Like other QBs do that and they get called geniuses.
But that's why he had that pick 6 versus the Jets last year. Because he turned, he threw, and that guy went for 6. See, that's what you got in Tua. Tua ain't reading. This is what Mike McDaniel, he created a system that gives Tua mainly two options. This is the system. The linebacker is sitting there on the right edge. I'm going to send a tight end in the flat, and I'm going to send Tyreek on an end cut or a slant. Tua, all you need to do is read that linebacker. Hike. If the linebacker goes to the flat, throw it where the linebacker was because Tyreek on his way. Bam, Tyreek gone. That is a play that we run 30% of the time in every game. Okay. Y'all need to go look it up, okay? Now, if the linebacker stays where he is, hit the flat. The only wrinkle we have in that, the tight end could be going in the flat or he could be running a wheel route just in case. Those are all zone beaters, okay? And McDaniel has given him an offense that says if the safety drops downhill, you got Tyreek crossing late or Waddle, whoever. It's A, B, C, bro. It's giving him options, not reading the field. So this is what Tua's doing on a big play, say a big play. Hike, he's coming down, checking that first thing, right? Mm-hmm. And then say they got it covered in his man. He'll come back. Is the safety coming downhill? That is actually reading defense. But the difference is
progressions.
No, it's not. He's not going through. Tua ain't no process
consistently.
Right, let's get something straight. There was some plays on Sunday night's game where I can fully admit to you that, for example, the Tyreek throw. There was a few. There was a few where he definitely was going with first read and expecting Tyreek to be there, and he wasn't there. He went to Tyreek 9 times at halftime, I think. He had thrown him 9 targets for only 3 completed passes, if I'm correct.
This is when y'all, Steven, this is when y'all think he reading progressions. Okay. When the O-line collapsing, he breaks out of it. He has made some improvisational plays and looked around for the open guy like backyard football. And I actually like that version of Tua. The ball, the first thing gone.
Tua ran 3 times out of the pocket, and I think 2 of them were for first downs on Sunday night. That I was like, man, this is a part of the game that if he brought this out more, I think it would help the defense.
You don't like the legs?
See, guess what? If Tua had that mind and awareness early in the game, we would have won the game. But here's the problem with that. The more he runs, y'all know, the more likely he ain't even going to finish the season. He can't put that in his game. He's too brittle. Y'all know every time he ran that ball, every American in this country watching football or non-American that like the Dolphins were sitting there like, okay, good job, Tua. You were nervous as heck. Every time that slow engine was moving, y'all know good and well, y'all held your breath.
Dude, come on, bro.
As nervous as every other QB.
You were as nervous as every other QB, Nando. You had no little extra added.
I like that. That's a warrior right there.
No, I like it too. But then y'all sit there and say, man, Tua, man, you got to make better decisions when he get hurt.
Come on, bro. Don't do
a couple of them he definitely should have slid, but for the most part, I think he made smart times where there's sometimes you just can't slide. You got to go for the first down.
Y'all killing me. If we were up 28-0 and Tua did that in the third quarter and got hurt, y'all have been like, why run, man? Save your body. You see what I'm saying?
We're not. We're in a situation where you gotta get a first down in any situation, and like
and I agree, but I agree.
And not get the first down, and then we have to ponder, go for it on 4th.
Okay, all right. Like, so I have a couple things to hear. I want to clear. I just want to get some clarification from you. Number one, I'm hearing from you that Tua is a spot thrower.
Yes,
he's a spot thrower.
How else do you explain the ball going in an area where nobody's there?
All right, hold on. Let me finish. Tua's a spot thrower.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't read progressions for more than 90%. You would say 90% of his throws are not
20% of his plays. He's going through progressions if he can.
That's it. Yes. Okay. All right. And he's looking at options 1, 2, and 3.
Number 1, 70% of the time.
And that's Tyreek.
Or whatever his number 1 is on the play call, he's looking at them and staring them down, hoping.
And he's going to be throwing it that way most of the time.
The film tells you that. And if he doesn't, the play broke down and he saw somebody and hit him, which is good. But first progression 70% of the time.
And you're saying that he struggles with throwing within 5 yards on outs to the numbers or to the sidelines. That is a
Why
weakness
are
for him.
you saying that? I didn't say he struggles with throwing
I'm
5-yard
trying to get
outs.
clarification
I
from you.
said Tua in the flat, behind the line of scrimmage in the flat, where you have your outlets. He struggles with those. He has terrible ball placement. The guy, like, he could be leading a guy that can go 10 yards, but since the guy had to jump off his feet, reach low, or turn back around to catch it, it only goes for 2. Or gets tackled right away because the defense has time to collapse. That has always been the story with Tua throwing in the flat. He has struggled with that mightily. He never leads his guy on the run in the flat where he could just get it and keep going. That's always been the case. Film don't lie. This ain't me making this up. Just go watch the film.
And you're saying that the Chargers are the third team this year to exercise what they did. The Patriots were the first in week 1.
Patriots ran a little bit more of a hybrid, so Patriots didn't really do it as much. But remember, our offense struggled mightily versus the Patriots. Our defense just dominates them. The Steelers, they ran a hybrid of it as well. They were aggressive. They chipped Tyreek and those guys, tried to get them off their point. San Francisco didn't even do that. San Francisco did not deploy that. San Francisco, all they did is said, let's force him to put touch on the passes, make the passes perfect. Tua ain't no perfect pass thrower like y'all think. He'll throw.
He is though, TD.
The numbers don't show that he is, Steven. If you're 5 feet in front of me and I throw it to your feet 5 times in a row and you reach down and catch all 5 of them, the numbers will show you I'm the most accurate person.
Right, so time out, TD. You're telling me because he was an MVP candidate before the San Francisco game. He was an MVP candidate.
You're just blabbering off that and not listening to what I just said to you.
I am.
Stephen D. Is TD an accurate quarterback if I throw 5 passes to you 10 yards away and the first pass, oh, that's high. Oh, but I got it. Oh, that's low. Oh, hold on. Yeah. You see, that's the fundamental. No.
Where his receivers?
Okay, Steven. I'm glad you said that. You just
4 interceptions this year. That's it. 4.
Let me talk for literally 30 seconds, and you just put yourself in a pigeonhole. Okay, watch this. The fundamental. Hold on. Let me talk without interruption. You just said the ball's getting caught, right? Now, watch this. When he threw it to Gesicki this week and the ball was behind Gesicki and Gesicki had it, but the defender batted it out, ain't nothing Gesicki could do about that. But the ball wasn't caught. That's what I'm talking about. That's why ball placement matters, and y'all want to ignore this stuff. I've been saying this for the longest. I'll be on my stream saying, oh, that's a nice completion. Tua put it a little behind. I'm going to take the completion, but you got to put that in front, Tua, because in man coverage, that they going to bat that down, and it's not a completion. Oh, TD, you just can't be happy for the completion. Why you got to always say something negative? And I'm like, no, when we get in the playoffs, you're going to get a lot more man scheme. The ball has to be where it needs to be. You can't just put it in an area he can make a play, because that was a perfect example on that Gesicki catch across the middle. He threw it behind Gesicki. If it was zone coverage, Gesicki would have caught it, ripped up the field. But it was man coverage. The defender was right on his back. And the defender, Gesicki, touched it, and it got batted away. You can't blame Gesicki. That's ball placement.
Either.
It's ball placement. There's a better ball to be thrown, Steven. Y'all think
that I'm not going to sit there and deny. Maybe
y'all think
there was a better option, but he put it in Gesicki's hands. That's good
different. No, it's not good enough. What is wrong with y'all? If you want the play to succeed.
Come on. Let me ask you a question. There was I don't know if you'll know the specific play. So this, I don't know if you know this. I don't know if this is a good example or not. Cater was playing defense against Mike Williams on like a 2 or a 3 and out, like to the sideline. And
Herbert put it in a perfect place.
Spot, right?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Was there a better defense that Cater could have done?
No. Okay. Thank you. You're making my point. You can't play defense.
You can play good defense, and there's times that the ball's just thrown in the perfect place, right?
And Tua didn't do that.
Gesicki scenario. And the
Hold on, Steven. You need to acknowledge your own scenario. Was it a completion?
It was.
Thank you. Because why was it a completion?
Because it had to be thrown in that perfect spot.
You're saying for the receiver to make the play, Steven?
One spot.
For the receiver to make the play.
So you want Tua. So now you're saying you want Tua to be perfect on every single throw that he makes, TD. You want Tua to be that's what you're saying. That's what you're saying, that you want Tua to be perfect on every single throw.
What I'm saying to you, Steven, the game required you to be perfect. The game, no, and hold on. It don't require perfection, but you gotta make. Hold on. You have to make some of those throws. That's exactly what we're asking. Big Herbert did it, and that's why they won. What are y'all told? What is wrong with y'all? Steven, do you hear yourself?
Do you hear yourself? You were telling me you want Tua to be perfect on every single throw.
That's what an elite franchise quarterback has to do to elevate.
Elite quarterbacks in the NFL. You're asking them to be the fourth.
Steven, are you trying to say that Gesicki should have made the play? I'm just confused.
Steven, what I'm saying to you is nobody is going to be 100%. Nobody is going to be 100%.
You came on for months and told me that all we needed was a really good quarterback to win a Super Bowl. And if Tua can become a really good quarterback, we can make and win a Super Bowl. Well,
did he play really good?
Good quarterback.
Did he play really good?
No, he hasn't played good. But you just said Tua did. It's not that Tua played bad. Tua is exactly what he is.
Did he play really good, Steven?
No, he sucked.
What's your point? What's your point?
You didn't say, but now you're agreeing with me.
He didn't play really good. He didn't play really good.
He didn't play really good.
What game were you watching, Steven?
Okay,
you must have thought Purdy. You must have been watching Purdy and thought that was Tua.
No,
you got PTSD from last week.
CD, you just said that in order, according to your grading scale, which by the way, I appreciate your grading scale. I like it. Not not good, or below average, average, good, really good. I like your grading scale. I think your grading scale is like perfect. It's on point of how you dissect players. And for you would say Tua was below average, right? Is that where you had him before this year?
In that game?
No, I'm talking about before this year.
No, Tua was slightly below average at average. I have him at average.
Okay, and you said if you go 2 spots up, it would have put him at really good, right?
It would have no 2 spots up would have been you have average, you got above average, you got good, and then you got really good.
And you said if Tua can get to good, really good, he can win us a Super Bowl. Has Tua this year as a whole, as a collective?
Tua this year has been good.
He's been really good, bro.
2 weeks ago, you would have had him in a really good category, but the season isn't over. The season, Steven, you can't go off of 3. You can't go off of a small little block and say that's what he is. Everybody, that's like going to the Arizona game for Tua and saying, okay, he was really good. All right, let's close the chapter there. You can't do that. So far this year, his overall body of work has been good. Before last week, he wasn't even really good. I had him at great. He was above really good. I had him at great. In 2 weeks, he went down to good.
Time out.
Because of this new defensive scheme thing that's taking away his strengths
and I asked you, what's been going on with Tua? How come he hasn't played well the last 2 weeks? That was my question to you. Mm-hmm. And I quote to you, your reaction to me was, oh, no, it hasn't that he hasn't been playing good. This is exactly who Tua is. Tua's been playing exactly the same way all year. And now, because the defense played him this way, they're so my question to you, I will ask you one more time for clarification. Did Tua play well the last 2 weeks compared to him and his body of work, or has he played the same and they just executed on a weakness that was there?
Tua played the same. They just executed on the weakness. Steven, let me finish. Steven, let me finish. If the 49ers were playing cover 2 and bringing the linebackers in the box like everybody else, if the Chargers were playing cover 2 and bringing the linebackers in the box like everybody else, Tua would not have had those 2 bad games. It's that simple. They literally attacked his weakness. The defense, if they would have played cover 2 like the Lions, the all of them, if they would have played cover 2, safeties 30 yards back, linebackers sucked into the line of scrimmage, Tua would not have had 2 bad games. He would have ripped them apart.
Time out. You just said Tua wouldn't have had 2 bad games.
He wouldn't have, because that's because of the defense that's being played on him.
So is it just over? Like if they play that defense, you're saying that there's no way to adjust? Like
not unless Tua becomes this new guy that can overcome that. That's always been a weakness of his. Tua has always struggled with the velocity. Tua has always struggled with the man coverage because the ball placement hasn't been great. Y'all with completions. Yeah, but the ball placement in these completions have always been a problem. And the velocity has never been there. It's been very hard for him to get the touch passes over the linebackers under the safety and tight windows. That's always been the case. But if teams want to come out and be stupid and play cover 2 and then put safeties way back, suck the linebackers in and leave the middle open with Waddle and Tyreek and he got time, he is going to cook any team. Any team in the NFL, he will cook them in that format.
So how do we cook and make adjustments, my friend? Because
you have to hope that the only way is the run game, but you're not going to fix that miraculously. You need a top 10 run game.
We just don't suck though.
You need a top 10 run game to suck the linebackers in to leave the middle of the field open so he don't have nobody in his window.
Question before the San Francisco game. I was thinking, you know what, man, Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert, that's a nice 1-2 combination.
I told y'all tripping on that too. I told everybody after we had that one game, they went for 100. In the next game, half the game they went off, but we didn't need them anymore. Oh, we got a run game now. What are you talking about? Look at who we're playing. That don't mean we got a run game. We can't run the ball.
Defense. We just didn't run.
And I agree with that too, but that's where I kind of get on a personal note of Mike McDaniel. I feel like he's trying to get Tua to reach a certain level that like numbers this year. I feel like he's trying to help Tyreek get the record, and it's hurting our team.
Forcing it too much?
Yeah, trying to get those guys to show that they're the real deal when he himself knows he got a cookie cutter system for Tua, and as long as you get cover 2 with the linebacker sucked in, he will be a high-powered offense.
So
Bills, Patriots, like Jets, that's all good defensive teams.
I want to go back.
Just that.
You said that Tua played the same the last 2 weeks, correct?
Mm-hmm. He just got put in a different situation. He hadn't seen much this year.
In San Francisco, we called all the right plays. The plays were there. He just was off.
Yep.
So Tua was off. He played bad in those games.
No, he was. God, dog, Steven, listen to me.
Bad.
Listen to me. We know he played bad, but the system made him play bad. If those linebackers weren't Steven, Steven, what you fail to realize is
you're being critical of Tua, and you're not even allowing me that.
Steven, what you fail to realize is go back and look at the tape of his best performances, like the Lions and stuff, right? Go look at the passes he threw. Bullets across the middle, right? The pass probably didn't lift off the ground more than 10 feet. Now, when you got linebackers playing deeper, you can't just throw the bullet because it's going to be a pick. Do you remember early in that game, they set the tone? Tua threw it right to where it needed to be. But that linebacker reached up with his hand, got his hand on the ball, and it almost got picked. Do you remember that?
TD Phins talk.
Do you remember that?
I love you.
Do you remember that?
Let me tell you something. TD.
Oh my
Tua in the San Francisco game was missing wide open wide receivers.
Oh my God, Steven.
Wide open receivers.
Steven, because he had to throw the ball differently than he usually does.
What?
You don't want to. Okay, Steven. Oh, Jesus. Gosh, elementary. I always got an elementary with you. Listen.
Explain it to me like I'm 5.
And let me explain it to you let me talk to you, Nando. Nando. You're 10 feet in front of me, Nando. I want to put the ball in your chest, Nando. What do I need to do, Nando? Throw the ball directly straight path in your chest, right?
Yeah.
Now, we're going to throw Stephen D 5 yards between us. Can I throw the ball directly straight to your chest?
Got to go arc.
It's a different throw now, right?
Yeah.
Does it take a little bit more skill? And a little bit more touch because I don't want to overgo it.
I want to say skill, but it's a
More
different
touch.
touch.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, when you're throwing these passes 20 and 30 yards, it's a skill.
Okay, bro.
It's a little higher, bro.
League in
Like, it's
passes
nothing like.
over
No,
10
first
yards.
of all, it takes longer to get there, right?
Yeah, different
I
timing.
mean, come
of
on
course,
now,
yeah.
y'all
Yeah, no, different timing for sure.
pass geometry, right? It takes longer to get there because it's not a straight path. You actually have to go over.
Yeah.
You have to put the perfect amount of touch. See, you don't have to worry about nothing when you flick the ball straight to something. It's just a flick. But when I got to say, I got to go 10 yards and I can't overdo it now. See, you don't worry about overdoing a pass if I'm throwing it straight to you because it could be hard. It could be soft. It's coming straight to you. You don't have to worry about how much you put on it. But when you're doing a touch pass, you have to put the perfect amount on it because you do the same pass that you throw hard up, it's overthrown. You do it too soft, it's underthrown or picked off by Steven. It's a harder pass to make. And you're talking about doing those on post, on outside the numbers and corner routes and all of that. That's what they were forcing. They would take away the middle.
Hold on.
It was poor timing. And that's what I'm saying. You don't think they
But
can,
what
they
I'm
can
saying,
practice that and they can work around that?
Tua struggles with that. Tua has always struggled with that, and that's what I'm trying to tell Steven, Nando. It's a different type of pass. It's not the same pass these other teams that cover two make them throw.
I just think Tua can do it. I just think they just haven't worked out that timing.
He can do it. No, he's always, he'll drop one here and there and like, oh, yay, we got one. That's where y'all get mistaken. If he throws 10, this is where y'all get mistaken. If he throws 10 passes straight to a guy and he completes 9, he's a genius. But then the touch pass, if he's 4 for 5, y'all look at those 4 and forget about the other 6 and be like, oh, he can do it. Yeah, but he struggles in that.
So
he struggles in that.
So if
you make him, bro, it ain't gonna happen overnight. He's been struggling with it for 3 years. That's why Mike McDaniel don't put him in a situation where he has to. That's why the defense dictated it by dropping the linebackers. They said we're gonna force you to. And watch you misfire all night. Watch you be just too high, just too low, just too to the right, just a little to the left. And he wasn't off bad, was he? Was he off bad? Those guys were jumping up and just missing. He wasn't off that bad in San Francisco, Steven. He was actually finding the right reads. It's just that he was missing them by not. No, he was not missing them. Bro, he's always off on those kind of passes. He's just that we never have to worry about him being in those situations early in the season.
What are you talking about? He's been hitting those passes all year.
He ain't been hitting those passes all year. He's been hitting straight line B-liners all year. He's been hitting straight B-liners all year. Y'all don't want to acknowledge that. Go watch the film.
We're going to agree to disagree. But my question to you is on that.
You got film. You don't have to agree to disagree. You got film, Steven.
Is that something that he can fix in the offseason?
He can't fix it. That's his straight. Look how bad he was doing it. You talk about can he fix it? Look how bad he was.
Can it be fixed?
Yeah,
no, it can't be fixed. You either got, this is why, that's like saying, hey, Rosen's been trash his whole career, but can he be fixed?
We're not about to compare Josh Rosen to Tua Tagovailoa.
No. I'm comparing the logic you're using. Can Josh Rosen be fixed?
I don't know.
See, if we bring Tua up, we want to think that everything can be fixed if it's a problem. Can Josh Rosen be fixed?
Josh Rosen
got a lot of issues.
Josh Rosen.
Can he be fixed?
Bad quarterback. He's a bad quarterback.
Can it be fixed?
No, he cannot.
No.
Then don't think everything with Tua can be fixed. Don't think everything with Tua can be fixed. He is inconsistent. He also don't have the arm strength. That's why in those passes it hangs too long.
Comparison to compare Josh Rosen to the Tua situation.
Tua been working at that for 3 years. Ain't fixed it yet. What you want me to say? And y'all think it's fixed.
Unsolvable
Y'all
weakness.
think it's fixed because he'll hit one on an occasion.
I just don't see the logic in
You don't have to, but as we keep struggling, if defenses play like that, you're gonna keep ignoring what the real reason is, and that's fine with me. I know what it is.
All right, let me ask you a question. Why was Tua inaccurate during the San Fran game? And he wasn't in the prior games.
That's the same thing I've been explaining to you for 30 minutes, Steven.
What
are you talking?
I think the answer is comfortability within the pocket and no Armstead.
Comfortability in the pocket.
Also had himself a freaking game.
God. Comfortability in the pocket. Y'all always looking at the wrong reason, and then as it keeps happening, then he has a game with perfect protection, and he still do it. See, y'all don't. There's been games last year he's had great protection and look like that.
I'm going to tell you right now, I do not have an answer for what happened in LA. Like
I do. You just don't want to. You want to ignore it.
It's not that I want to ignore it. I disagree with that.
You know why you disagree with it? Because it makes you feel hopeless for him. Because you believe in him. That's why you don't. That's why you want to disagree with it. Because if you knew what I was saying is a fact, you know it ain't no hope. Now you going into every game saying, "Please play zone. Please play cover 2 and drop the safeties and suck the linebackers down."
No, please adjust McDaniel. Please run the ball more. Please figure out a way.
You can't. We ain't got no run game. Gosh, we all gonna come to grips with that.
But that's because you gotta just force. You can't just run 8 times, 10 times, bro. 15 times. Just offset him.
Mike McDaniel, no. That's gonna hurt Tua even more because when you play man coverage and look at this, y'all were used to them 15, 20-yard chunks all year, right?
Yeah.
By the third quarter, we start actually getting completions, but they were for 2 yards, 3 yards. See, you can't run the ball and get 0 gain and then ask Tua to get 5 on each play when the only thing that's open is the little short Tyreek 2-3 yarder.
Let me hit the
You can't ask them to run the ball. That's why McDaniel wanted to pass.
Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. We are here Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. to noon. We're going to go a little afternoon today. I got my man Nando Talk. Usually I have my man the Smoke Show with me on Tuesdays. We call it Hot Take Tuesdays with Nando Talk and Nikki Smokes. But Nikki couldn't be with us today, so I had the next best thing, actually the best thing. I'm talking about TD Phins Talk came into the building.
I don't even compare with Nando or Smoke. Them guys go.
Mr. TD.
So I brought in TD. TD's hanging out with us this morning. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us. I want to remind you guys to hit the like button, donate to the channel. If you donate through Cash App or PayPal, which is MSM Podcast Network on PayPal or $MSM Podcast Network in increments of $25 this week on Friday afternoon, all the way through Friday afternoon, we're going to be giving away this autographed Christian Wilkins jersey courtesy of ZSM Sports. So donate through Cash App or PayPal in increments of 25. You will be entered to win this Christian Wilkins autographed jersey.
Y'all better get on that. Christian Wilkins going to be a Hall of Famer, man.
Dude, that dude is a beast, man. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Look at how he was just pestering Herbert, and Herbert still delivered. Herbert ain't need the O-line last night. Herbert said, it's okay. My O-line is trash. They getting beat on every play, but you know what? This is why I got to be great. This is why I'm going to make sure my fans ain't sitting there like, can y'all please go get a left tackle? Armstead available. Oh, Connor's there. Herbert said, no, regardless of, hopefully they do better, but I still got to go show up and show out. And he did. Regardless. So y'all make all no excuse. Well, Herbert has an O-line. Tua ain't got it. Man, Herbert absolutely. Man, that O-line was terrible. And Herbert said, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. 30.
He had the same amount of throwing touchdowns as Tua had.
Okay. And playing with fractured ribs without
this amazing game. He threw 367 yards between the red zones, which was great. Amazing.
Hold on. Wait, what did you just say? He had what?
367 yards between the red zones. between
No,
the
no, no.
two.
What you were just comparing him and Tua. He had something just like Tua.
He had
What?
the same amount of touchdowns as Tua had.
Now watch this, y'all. This is how funny this is.
Oh no.
Herbert's putting up these numbers that Tua putting up in a great year, but Herbert finally in a situation where his O-line trash. He was without most of his receivers most of the time. Hold on. No. I'm not talking about Sunday. You just brought up a full season stat, Steven.
This is first win over a team against over 500, man.
Hold on, it doesn't matter. Okay, go back to last year. Go back to last year and go back to last year in that 7-game win streak, and you tell me how many of them teams was over 500? Zero. So this year I ain't gonna let you walk past that, Steven. You just caught yourself. So Herbert's Tua's elite. What y'all want to say? His great year. Herbert out here putting up the same numbers, but now he in a Tua Flores situation. For the whole year, he been without all his receivers. He been with a trash O-line, defense depleted, and at least Tua had a defense in his trash years. So Herbert is now, for most of the season, been in a Tua situation, and he putting up Tua numbers in a great year. Get out of here. This is proof is all around y'all, and y'all want to ignore it. This is how Tua was supposed to look with trash around him the last 2 years. But he was missing wide open guys and everything. So y'all stop that. The hypocrisy is catching up to everybody right now. No. And it's coming, and y'all want to ignore the facts. Herbert is doing in Tua's his great year, putting up the same numbers, but now in the Tua trash situation. Without weapons, without an O-line, without a defense, he putting up Tua's great numbers now with everything. Man, you can't make this stuff up. That alone is a mic drop. That alone is all you need to know about Tua Tagovailoa. Oh, Steven, you see like the cat got your tongue.
I'm looking at it.
Like you thinking, like you looking for a rebuttal.
The man,
hey, hold on. Did I say with fractured ribs? Out there with rib injury when another guy would be on the bench for 3 weeks because of it and doing all of that despite.
I'm not playing this Herbert Tua scenario. First of all, we got Tua. Tua's our guy. Okay, who cares about Justin Herbert? Number two.
No. Y'all use Herbert to say, yeah, Tua would be that if he had everything. Herbert don't need it. Herbert is now in a Tua situation, and he putting up the great Tua numbers, which are still below Herbert's status. It's still what Herbert doing right now is below what he usually do.
More games than Tua. That's the only reason they're the same numbers.
Steven, no, the man already passed in yards. He got the equivalents. What are you talking about?
You're talking about passing attempts, Steven?
No, yards. He already got what? How many
yards? Because he has more passing attempts.
Yeah, how many yards is you're gonna have? No. Hold on. How many passing attempts does Herbert have?
So, by the way, Tua has 22 touchdowns and 5 interceptions.
Uh-huh.
Justin Herbert has 21 touchdowns and 7 interceptions.
That's right.
Like 2.5 more games.
How many passes?
Okay.
The only difference between 700 yards, and if you take, what is that? Let's take 700 divided by 2.5. That would be the equivalent if Tua played 2.5 more games. He would have the same exact numbers as Herbert.
Exactly. You're making my – hold on.
Better numbers than Herbert.
You're making – Steven, you're making my point. Hold on, Steven, you're making my point. Herbert is playing just as well as Tua without the O-line, without the defense, with his receivers hurt every week. He's actually putting up the numbers that Tua put up in this season. Y'all seeing is Tua's great. He's doing that. And this is what I've been trying to tell y'all for years. And he hurt, but this is what I've been trying to tell y'all for years. Yes, every quarterback is going to look better with everything around them. But you really judge a quarterback off of how they look when they don't have everything around them. Because there's levels to this. Mahomes would look worse if he didn't have everything around him. But he wouldn't look Tua worse. That's the point. I've been trying to explain this to y'all. Tua is not a franchise quarterback, bro. He's a guy.
Herbert has 200 more pass attempts this year. 561 versus 561 for Herbert, 345.
To Herbert all he wants. I'm still glad I have Tua. I will
He's a
take
little
Tua.
different.
So 40 a game, Nando, 2.5 games, take 100 off. He basically has what, 100 and what more attempts?
He's got exactly like 216 more attempts.
Who has 200 more?
200
more?
and what?
Herbert has 561 attempts. Tua has 345. It's like 216 more attempts. than
So,
Tua.
but you take 100 away from Herbert's because of the averaging of what, 40 a game? So
I'm
you
terrible
take
at
a.
math, bro.
And I'm just trying to put the equivalence for
Over
Tua.
here,
Herbert's
TD,
about
math
100
is hard.
more,
Math is hard.
100 more on the season if Tua played all the games. If Tua played the 2.5 games he missed, he'll have 100 more attempts.
I'll agree with your math. I will trust you, TD.
And who would you want to throwing the ball more? That's clear. You know why? Because he gonna be perfect on more plays than he not. As Steven, oh, you want Tua to be perfect.
With what
I'm
is
saying
you
with more attempts? Maybe Tua has
many
more
more
yards,
attempts?
more TDs.
Nando, how many more attempts does he have currently right now than Tua?
100. 100.
We'll go with.
I'm doing the math because Tua missed 2.5 games.
Passing attempts and and by the way, Tua's played 2.5 less games than Herbert.
No. We already factored that in. That's why we said 100.
Okay. But what is it in real life? What is it in real life?
216 because he has played more.
All right, so 216 more pass attempts.
Mhm.
Tua has more touchdowns than him and less interceptions. Yes,
Okay.
I will pick Tua over Herbert. Thank you very much. Yes, I will.
Yeah, I know you will, especially when Herbert's in a bad situation putting up similar numbers. That's why Steven, this is why our team loses the way we do, because we're okay with this type of stuff. So I'm not because Steven E, that's like comparing, you got a roof over your head, and if you got a 9 to 5, you're likely to be able to make it to work every morning.
Likely.
If it's a homeless person under the bridge without a car and the job is 30 minutes away, they're not likely to make it to work in the morning. But just because that homeless person actually got there 5 minutes earlier, yeah, I'm going to take the homeless person. Steven, this is what I be talking about with y'all, man. Y'all 2 years, you expose yourself because you defy simple logic. Herbert is in a bad situation, putting up the equivalence of Tua in his great year.
Homeless people, watch out, cancel culture. TD over here talking about homeless people.
Oh my God,
they won't listen to this, man.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's a reality. There ain't no knock on the homeless people. That's just a reality. They're more likely to hire you because you have a sustainable roof over your head. They can depend on you and rely on you more. That's common sense.
So in your scenario, Tua is the person with a home and a roof over his head, and Herbert's the homeless person.
You see what 2 years do, y'all?
See what 2 years do, man. They twist your words, bro.
Listen, y'all, you can ignore the fact. You can ignore the facts all you want, but Herbert literally exposed Tua on a whole new level.
Thank you, Nando.
He literally said, "My O-line is boo-boo trash."
Thank you, Nando.
My O-line is boo-boo trash. Your defense were all over my receivers. There were barely any separation all night because Herbert didn't have that many wide open people. No separation all night, but you know what? I'm going to show you what skill looks like. I'm going to show you what real pocket presence looks like. Okay. I'm going to show you what real awareness looks like.
Let's get something straight. Let's move forward in the conversation. Let's talk about Saturday night.
Yeah, how do we get into that?
Let's get into Saturday night. Let's just segue into Saturday.
I'm saying, like, how do we maintain?
Can the Dolphins win? And B, will the Dolphins win?
Yeah, once again, you don't want to hear the answer.
I'm listening.
You can't ask the Dolphins nor the Dolphins fans that. You got to ask Buffalo. Hey, are y'all going to play cover 2, 30 yards back, and the linebacker sucked into the line of scrimmage? If they say yeah, we're going to demolish Buffalo. If they say no, we're going to man to man.
Even in the snow.
In the snow, we screwed. You got to run the ball.
It's supposed to be 7 inches of snow.
Yeah, you got to run the ball. It's a wrap. Josh Allen going to be 30 quarterback keepers, clocking us all the way down the field. And then all that pass rush, you can't be overzealous anymore. You can't ping your ears back. You're going to be sliding your behind, slipping right down. And you know all of them going to be worried about their knees. If it's snowing like that for real, in the field is filled with snow, even if it's 1 inch, but it's on the field, oh, I ain't gonna lie, it's a wrap. They're gonna be wild. It's gonna be the quarterback wildcat with Josh Allen every play.
You don't think a little Tyreek action, maybe some little trick plays with him, get him involved in the run game?
We could try some bubble screens if Tua can get it out there in the flat accurately. We could do some, but you know what? Let me take that back. We could throw some Hail Marys and Tyreek come back and get it. It's worked all year.
We get some more fumble recovery touchdowns from Tyreek.
Yeah, I mean, we could put it up 30 yards down the field because the ball ain't traveling 50.
So
not in the windy snow. You could put it up 30 yards down the field, have Tyreek running 50-yard comeback routes.
Do you think the Dolphins are winning on Saturday night?
Depends on the weather, but I'm going to say no, we're not going to win this game, unfortunately, and it sucks. Well, I also have said that this will be the game that we win and Tua balls out, and then everybody's delusional again because that's so Miami.
It would be the most Dolphins thing in the world, honestly.
Yeah, it's a Tua had 320 yards in the snow, and they could call it the Tua snow game on the road in Buffalo. And all of a sudden, he the franchise quarterback again, and everybody going crazy again. I mean, this is what we got with Tua. He's good enough not to be good enough. So he's going to give you some moments where things are going to happen that you're like, wow. And it ain't been a while since Baltimore game. So
he's good enough to not be good enough.
Yeah, that's those quarterbacks that waste 10 years of your franchise career. Then you finally say, all right, we got to move on. Every year you get bounced in the first, and the furthest you've made it in 10 years is the second.
Win a playoff game.
We're going to the playoffs, though.
Are we winning a playoff?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Do we win a playoff game?
Depending on who you play. It depends on who you play.
We play Baltimore and Baltimore.
If you play Baltimore, you're not going to win.
You play Kansas
if Lamar's
City.
healthy. You play Kansas City, you're not ain't winning that anyway.
The Bills.
Depends, how things go this weekend.
Bengals.
Bengals. See, that's a tricky one. You're not likely to win. Mike McDaniel going to have to change the game plan he had last time because he had Tua throwing deep. Almost got picked off 3 times. He got picked off once.
Now the Dolphins win this weekend. Let's play the scenario out.
I think we'll beat Tennessee now.
I agree, yeah.
Their O-line is so bad. So now their defense will still give us trouble. But I think our offense will be able to do just enough more than their offense because their O-line is trash. We're going to get at Tannehill. This is different than when we played them last year.
Yeah, I'm not.
Tua could play bad, and I feel like we would still have a chance versus Tennessee this year. Y'all don't understand how bad that O-line is.
So does Miami win their last 3, or do they win their?
Yeah, they'll win the last 3.
I think they'll win. I think there's a chance.
The Jets game is going to be tricky though because the Jets have the athletes to play the man coverage, but that game can come down to a turnover, a mistake, and I think we'll have the edge. Tua ain't gonna look great in that game, but I think we'll have the edge to be able to win.
So Miami makes the playoffs.
Yeah, on the road.
What does next year look like?
They're going to go get. They're going to.
And what does next year look like?
They're either going to go for broke, give away every asset we have in a player or two, and try to pursue Lamar Jackson. Or they will go into the draft and draft a quarterback in the second round, or put a few things together to get a mid-first round quarterback. I know y'all don't want to hear this, but put yourself in Stephen Ross's shoes last night. Put yourself in Stephen Ross's shoes last night watching that game, being flexed to prime time, and already feeling some type of way about the San Francisco game. See, the problem with Tua is he didn't see. This is where I'm even mad at Tua. It wasn't about you having a bad game. You look like you didn't even belong in the NFL. See, that's the difference. I mean, bro, you had 25 yards at halftime. I'm getting 25 yards at halftime.
I don't know if you're getting 25 yards.
Man, I'll dial up a jet sweep every play and get 25 at halftime.
Run the rock, TD.
TD,
Y'all don't understand, bro. Y'all need to put his performance into context. This was bad. Tim Tebow didn't have incompletion games this bad. It don't feel like. I mean, this wasn't oh man, this was a bad game. The stats bared out bad. He looked incompetent in that game. Nothing.
He looked bad.
He looked lost. When I saw Tua,
that's why I have a problem with you, TD, because when I asked you about it, you're like, no, Tua's played the same. No, he
has.
He
has.
Bad.
He has. No, because yes, he did play horrible. But remember, they made him look horrible. They put him in only situations he could show his weakness.
But it comes off from you that if you're saying that he played the same that he's played the whole year, that Tua's been horrible the whole year.
No, Steven, he's just not
elevating to a higher level, right?
McDaniel has made sure that he puts stress on the defense to a point where he keeps Tua in a comfort zone. The Chargers says, screw that. We ain't going for the bait. We gonna play y'all man up. And look at what the Chargers coach said. Did you hear what he said in his press conference? He said, yeah, we saw because they said, did the 49ers film help y'all? He said, no, not at all. We saw the 49ers film. They beat the Dolphins by backing up the linebackers, making Tua have to drop passes in, and he's not great at that. We didn't do that. We didn't do that at all. We asked our cornerbacks to man press coverage a lot. And that is going to require Tua to show his quote-unquote accuracy. And this is what I've been telling y'all. He ain't accurate, man. It's easy to look like you accurate when you throw into a wide open receiver with bad ball placement and it's still caught. Y'all out here living this delusion. Y'all watch the same games I watch. Ball too high. You jump up in the air to catch it. Ooh, look at the accuracy. Like, what is wrong with y'all?
Where would you put Tua right now in the top 32 quarterbacks?
Top 32? 18? Look, how has he played this year?
Is he better than Tannehill?
No, he's not.
This year or overall?
No, this year, yeah. This year, yeah.
Because this year, yeah.
I'm saying overall.
Where you put him in 32.
Now, remember, there's two different elements to this. Tua as a quarterback, period. I'm going to be honest, 18 to 22, somewhere in that range. This year, I would have to land him at this point around 9.
Okay.
That's this year because he still built up a lot to hold him down for a little bit.
He's playing as a top 10 quarterback this year. Point blank.
Right, so far. See,
and
this is the point. And this is the point. If he go out there and have 2 more great games and 2 more games like that, he going to be 15th. Remember, y'all got to remember this. Look at PFF. The man was running a 92, which is insane on PFF. He had 87 today. In 2 weeks, 5 points dropped just like that. I told y'all he needed to end the season around 84 on PFF, and because they grade everything. Difficult throws, big time throws, all of that. And them 2 games, 5 points down. He built a lot of cachet in those 3 games where he was phenomenal, but people still fail to realize the Ravens' 6 touchdowns has held him down statistically. 6 touchdowns in a game will hold you down statistically. You can have 2 more terrible games, and that one 6 touchdown game gives you an average of 2 touchdowns a game, which is good.
I did say this when that happened. I said before the year's out, he will have at least a 5 touchdown game to go along with it. And I still stand by that.
That's just absolute defensive collapse. And once again, like I said, Tua goes how the defense goes that's playing against him. It's that simple. At some point, is that on McDaniel though, or like, are you just saying it's all on Tua?
See, we want to say it's on McDaniel. It's the easy. It's the
No,
fan.
Not all McDaniel, but at
No,
least
I'm
some
saying
part.
I've heard this from other people.
Oh,
Let me help
okay.
people understand. This ain't on McDaniel, just like it's what shouldn't have been on Flores, but we're gonna put it on them anyway. And let me tell you why it's not on them, but we think it is. Well, McDaniel, if they're taking away the middle, go outside the numbers, hit the flat. As a coach, my quarterback struggles outside the numbers. My quarterback struggles in the flat. Let's keep on trying to work what we know. What did Mike McDaniel just say in his press conference? They took away everything we love, we do well. But we also missed on execution as well. And where was that execution? Receivers not fighting through the releases at the line of scrimmage. Tua, ball placement on some plays. Decision making. See, man coverage, once you run man coverage, now you done took away Tua's bread and butter, giving him options on plays. In zone coverage, he got options. If the linebacker do this, he's open. If the safety drops there, that'll be open. You can identify that pre-snap. That's why we run a man in motion. And matter of fact, we weren't even doing a lot of full motions this time. We were doing read motions. What does that mean? That means the receiver ran halfway and went back where they were. They just wanted to identify what it was.
So let me ask you, so on Sunday night, do you blame the loss on the defense more than Tua?
Defense has zero blame in my eyes.
I agree with that, by the way.
0% blame on the defense. We
hard.
played great defense. Better offense is always better than great defense. That's why your offense need to show up when you going up against a juggernaut offense.
I don't disagree with that statement.
You got to match blow for blow.
Go
ahead.
No. So the secondary for our defense, is that going to be a factor going into the final 4 games?
Buffalo, it's always going to be a factor, right?
I don't think it will be because of the snow, but Josh Allen at any point in time.
Well, I agree with that, but for some reason, Buffalo like throwing in the snow anyway. That's why New England beat them with the run game, but we don't have a run game. So that's an issue. They still like throwing in the snow. Josh Allen at least has a cannon that's going to break through some of that wind pressure. So don't forget that.
Way, I didn't say when I asked you earlier, what do we do in the offseason and next year? I think the Dolphins go after a big top tier running back in the offseason, like Hogg.
The running back ain't the issue. Y'all keep thinking it is. It's the O-line.
We had Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's they're going to trade Derrick Henry.
Man, do you see what's happening to Derrick Henry in Tennessee this year? Every time they play a good opponent, him and Tannehill get benched in the third quarter. Derrick Henry out there, that O-line is trash in Tennessee. They only run against the trash teams.
Could you imagine
every time
Henry in Miami though?
It wouldn't matter with this whole line. Y'all got this thing mixed up.
Dude, Derrick Henry would make the difference.
Yeah, y'all think it would. Y'all got this whole thing mixed up. Then why is Derrick Henry out here getting benched? He done been benched 3 times this year. They done got blown up. Derrick Henry gets the ball. Whoop, they done clipped his legs. 1 yard gain. Like Derrick Henry ain't like he eats off of the bad teams this year. Now, if we had an O-line, he would be allowed to make the difference in the running back. He's in the open space now. Now he doing what he do best. But if you can't at least get to the second level as a running back, you can't show your real skill.
So in your mind, the Dolphins' number 1 address in the offseason needs to be O-line. Number 1.
It always has been. And unless you're going to get a quarterback who can play without it.
And there's nobody that's going to be available that will be.
Well, Lamar Jackson. That's the situation. But I think that the Miami Dolphins, because they don't have enough assets, unless they're going to get rid of like Christian Wilkins and a future first and stuff for Lamar, they're going to have to go in the draft and get another guy. I'm telling y'all don't understand. This organization ain't finna. They listen. They know what they have in Tua. Y'all just don't want to realize that y'all want to blame them and say you're limiting him. If the middle ain't there, go here. McDaniel ain't no idiot. Y'all want to call him a genius until y'all don't feel he is, because Tua ain't doing well. He ain't go to the outside in the flat because he's going off of numbers. He know what his guy can do and what he can't.
Yeah, but you
can't
just look at it and just be like, all right, boys, pack it up. We're screwed.
He's not trying to pack it up. He's trying to tell them, execute what we're doing better. Tua, be better in what you can do well. That's what he was trying to do in that game. We're gonna
stubborn.
keep on going across the middle. You just gotta be better. Because if I put you in what we already know you're not good in, it's gonna be worse.
Can't be worse than that if it's not working.
It can, because it could have turned into picks. We could have started throwing picks, trying to have him throw them long balls on the outside of the numbers. It could have turned into picks. I'm telling you, bro, y'all keep on going at the coaches. The coaches are working with a limitation, and their genius has to create something that'll work for him. Flores did the best he could with what Tua had. McDaniel's doing the best he could with what Tua has.
All right. So then, TD, because you've watched a lot more film than me, knowing what Tua has, is there anything you could do? Like, knowing his flat is his weakness, knowing we don't have a run game.
Yes,
knowing
you can. Not this year, but if you want to talk about next year, you got to go. You have to go. You have to go invest in an elite O-line. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It's impossible for the Miami Dolphins. Go look at all of our money that's tied up. Teron Armstead ain't gonna be here that much longer, but you're tied up with money. He's an injury waiting to happen. That's typical. I told you he's gonna give you 12 games this year. Right now, he's still supposed to miss 2 more, or he did better than the expectation. Okay? And he technically should have missed that game, right? Especially when you see how he played. He obviously wasn't himself. You're hurting us rather than, you're just being as bad as anybody else, because Teron Armstead was awful. Okay? Now,
I was asking people, would a 40% Armstead be better than what they put in there?
No, 40% Armstead. See, it's either Armstead going to be healthy and elite, or he's just as a train wreck as everybody else. He was a train wreck, Steven. Matter of fact, I argue that most of the O-line played better than him. Most of the rest of go look at the highlights, go look at all the plays, and go look at Armstead on every play getting thrown to the ground.
I thought he played bad, but I think it was an injury issue. I don't think it was him.
You need to go get a consistent left tackle. You need to go get a left guard. You're good with Connor at center, or move him to left guard and go get a center. You need to, Robert Hunt is already solidified at right guard, and you need to go get a right tackle. You need 3 elite offensive linemen for Tua that can run and pass block. And then I'm telling you, even the running backs we got now will be just fine. They're San Francisco built. They will be just fine. Same build. But how you going to go get 3 elite offensive linemen? How you going to do it? You got to pay Christian Wilkins probably over $20 million a year.
I know.
He's so good.
How are you going to do it next year? Go look at the salary cap.
You got to lock him up in the offseason. Must.
Yeah, exactly. So if you want to build a team that will force the defense, if you want to go build a team that will force the defense to always keep Tua in his strengths, you got to go get 3 legitimate O-linemen to go with Connor and Hunt, because Teron ain't going to be forever. And then you will be just fine. But the only way you can do it now, you got to take a hit on defense. You got to move on from Byron and X, and then not give Christian Wilkins the deal.
At this point, I'm ready to get rid of X, I think.
And guess what? You still ain't going to get as good as those guys, probably, likely. See, you're going to have to take a hit somewhere else, and you're still going to be strapped with money. So now,
and I said earlier this year, I don't think Byron plays another snap for the Dolphins.
And here's the hurtful part about all of that I just said. That would be the team Tua needs so he could stay in his comfort zone. It would be perfect. That's all he needs. But then, as soon as one person get hurt, doesn't mean you ain't got no depth. This is why, if you have the elite quarterback that can do what Herbert did behind a bad O-line, you can still afford everything else. Because they can make enough plays even without a O-line, even without a run. Did they run the ball on us? Did they have the balance of the run game? Did they run the ball on us, y'all? No. They didn't run the ball. They didn't run the ball on us well.
Didn't he have a touchdown?
Yeah, but they didn't run the ball well on us. Christian Wilkins then was beasted all night.
I mean, Austin Eckler's tiny. He was powering through us as well.
Man, Eckler was catching balls, man. Listen, this is why y'all want to build around one guy and give him everything he needs, and it got to be perfect, and as long as nobody get hurt. And if somebody get hurt, we in trouble. Hopefully they back. Y'all want to do all of that for one person instead of getting one person that can hide all of their problems.
Oh, man. So what about this year then? Like, how do you hide those problems? Like, because again, defenses are going to play smart. We played some smart coaches in Buffalo, the Patriots, Jets. I don't know what's going on in Green Bay, but like, how do you hide that now, TD? Like with what we have, with his limitations, with his strengths, with the injuries we have, like, what do we do?
You gotta have a dynamic. You have to have a dynamic quarterback. You just ain't got it. Ain't nothing you can do. Now we're gonna make the playoffs.
So you can't just pack like.
Somebody say they did have a run game. Eckler had 45 yards. He had 3 yards per carry.
Yeah,
trash.
Stats. Yeah, he just had the touchdown.
Exactly. Herbert had 2 yards a carry with 8 yards, and this Jay Kelly guy had 29 yards.
Oh, Joshua Kelly.
Talk about they had a run game. Get out of here. They did not have a run game.
A little more than us.
I'm going to say this. This
It's
is my thought of the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins have everything they need on their squad right now to win football games against teams. They have everything.
Absolutely. We had everything we needed last year to win football games, and that's what we did.
We
won. The year before that, 9 wins, 10 wins. I'm above 500 season. We got what we need to win.
Okay. Good teams find a way to win, correct? That has been my motto forever. The last 2 weeks, but I also give teams the right to have a bad week or a couple bad weeks or whatever. Teams go on losing streaks, teams go on win streaks. I understand what you're telling me about last week and the last 2 weeks. I disagree. To me, it's a light switch issue. That the moment they turn it back on, that the sky's the limit for them for the rest of the year. I really believe that, man. I really believe that. I think that the Dolphins have everything they need to win, and Tua rights the ship again. Miami's going to win a playoff game. They're going to win a playoff game if he turns it back
switch on. Let's ride.
Steven, when we turn the switch on, y'all going to say the switch was on. And I'm going to come up here and say they ran zone the whole game. I'm going to come on here and say, yeah, they played a little bit of man, but look at the cushion. Because ain't no switch getting turned on when you get in them receivers' face. You send in and you know what was very underrated about that game?
Mm-hmm.
They got an organic pass rush against Tua. 4 guys. If you're a team that has the defense that can rush 4 only and get to them and bump and run the receivers, knock them off their point, and play man coverage with a little safety help here and there, Miami's in trouble. So when we get our mojo back, and I already know we will because all of them ain't going to do that. They're going to miss one element or the other. And when we get our mojo back, y'all can go on about your business, raving about, yeah, that was just a bleep in the map, but you need to look at the bigger picture. And this is why we'll get knocked at least in the second round of the playoffs. Because by the time you get to the second half, all them teams going to deploy that kind of defense.
I think we're winning a playoff game.
Okay, on the road, number one, we will. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Reason, Doug, all came up here on the panel at the beginning of the year. And we said, this is our goal. Make the playoffs, win a playoff game. They do that. They're on the right track. They did exactly what they needed to do. To prove, to show us and the fan base that they made the necessary changes and whatever, right? And so if they do that, which they are still on track to do, they can make more changes in the offseason. And next year, the goal is going to be, I personally, I don't want to say Super Bowl bust, but they need to be Super Bowl contenders. Ooh. They need to be elite next year.
They do, but every team's going to have the blueprint.
But that's on the Dolphins for saying if they play us this way, we need to have the expectation that we're going to do this.
If we're going to be Super Bowl contenders, 1 or 2 things have to happen. Tua has to elevate his game on a whole new level against the style of defense that I'm mentioning, y'all. Because we already know what he's going to do against trash teams.
Okay.
And number 2, we got to create a top 10 run game. And that will always give him the freedom to be a good quarterback.
But build that running game more through the O-line or
O-line. It ain't the backs. It's not the backs.
Dolphin fans, this is our goal this year, and we all said it. Reason, TD, Doug, me, all said at the beginning of the year. Dolphins make the playoffs. They win a playoff game. It was a successful season for the Dolphins, and they are moving in the right direction. I stand by that.
No.
You don't
you were on here and said that. No, mine was bigger aspirations. That was before you got Bradley Chubb. That was before you used the first round pick in those assets. Now what you got, you're supposed to be AFC Championship or bust. And you ain't got to win it, but you got to be AFC Championship or bust because this team can't afford to get any better than this. And truth be told, we'll probably, from a talent standpoint, start to fall. Even though we didn't have Byron all year, you probably
think the Dolphins under this current vernacular, current regime, current structure, this is the best we're ever going to be
this year and potentially next year.
So if that happens by that logic, we would have to scrap everything and start all over again.
It depends on the direction they want to go. Do they want to start just like playing, Jenga, or do they want to start all over? That's the format. That's how it works. Because think about it. After next year, man, you got 7 people you got to pay, including your quarterback, if he's the guy.
Salary cap's fake.
Yeah, you keep saying that until you understand it.
Well, I'm bad at math, so
it's only fake until your team trashed for 3 years in a row. The Saints started, everybody, look at what the Saints keep doing. It's obviously fake. And have you not noticed what they've been going through for the last 2 years? In one more year, they'll finally be free of that salary cap, all that dead cap they've been paying for 3 years from players and them big contracts they were putting, backloading them. And that's what the Dolphins doing right now. Go look at all of our big contract players. Players got 3-year deals, but why are they under contract for 7 years and 6 years? Go look at their caps. Go look at their contract structures because they're backloading. Miami is in a window now. They know that in 2025, 2026, they finna be eating dead cap out the kazoo.
I know what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to move the goalpost. I know we made the trade for Chubb. I get that. I'm not moving the goalpost on this team for that.
You don't want to move it because you want to feel like it's an accomplishment. But if we went and got Chubb, okay,
game since 2001, cuz
Stephen D. If we went
playoff game set then,
Stephen D. If we went and traded from Patrick Mahomes when we got Chubb, what if we would have went and got Patrick Mahomes? Would you say, hey, as long as we win one playoff game, that's an accomplishment? Answer the question, Steven. No, it's not different.
That's Patrick Mahomes.
Game.
I get it, Nando, but I'm going to show you. Hey, Nando, I get it, but every player has a factor, though. That's all I'm saying. So, but what he's doing is ignoring the factor altogether just to keep the same benchmark. You gave up a first-round pick. You pigeonholed yourself to not be able to do anything in next year's draft unless you're giving away even further future.
No, that's a situation where you see that the Niners are doing well. You know that your draft pick is literally losing stock by the day, and you go, hey, Bradley Chubb is on the block. This is a nice move. We can do it. Let's let it fly. It's not like...
Yeah, but if Tua was playing like Zach Wilson, would you have done that?
No.
Exactly. And now that he's starting to play like Zach Wilson, if not worse.
Oh my God, get out of here, PD.
Hey, you can say what you want.
Zach is useless, bro.
You can say whatever you want. Man. Zach Wilson ain't had 25 yards at halftime. Zach Wilson ain't
0 yards in the last 2.
Hey, I know he a bum, but I'm just saying. I'm making a point. I'm making a point. All I'm saying is if Tua bombs the rest of this season and we all, even the 2 years are done, now what do we have to do?
Oh, you're right.
So
we swung big, and if we missed, we missed.
Do not win a playoff game.
So that's why the expectation is greater. You got rid of one of your first-round assets.
If we do not win a playoff game, then to me, every single scenario is on the table. Everything.
You can win a playoff game in every scenario on the table.
If we don't win a playoff game this year,
you can win a playoff game. You can win one playoff game and everything is still on the table. Now you win 2 playoff games, then I'm like, hey, let's see what we do next year running it back.
Okay, so
to the AFC Championship to let people know that we are real contenders. Even though we didn't get it this year, we're here.
We're in the AFC divisional playoffs, bro.
Yeah, but that's the divisional. Who cares about the wild card week? I mean, Well, the
I would
Bengals
like
do.
to just get there. I'm sorry.
The Bengals went to the Super Bowl off
Just
of
so
it.
you know, TD, I was at the last playoff game live. Okay.
Steven-
And it sucked. It was negative 11
Yeah,
degrees.
I remember.
It was horrible. We were down 21-0 in the first
Pittsburgh
quarter.
Steelers.
It was straight trash. I
But
was
Ste-
11 rows from the field. It was negative 11 degrees.
sorry.
It was horrible.
That's
okay.
terrible.
I don't
Stephen
ever
D.
want to have that feeling again.
Stephen D, this is the problem. You better hope that the Chargers don't make the playoffs. You better hope that the Bengals somehow don't make it if we make it. Because I feel like right now the Chargers are better than us.
No, they're not.
They beat us. They better than
They
us.
barely beat us.
They beat us. They better than us.
Oh, I have to go with TD because that's what we say with Buffalo right
You can go
now.
with TD
We
all
barely
far. They
beat them,
barely
but we
us.
beat them.
I don't care. They barely
And
beat us.
people say, yeah, but if Tua would have played better, God dog, if the Chargers O-line would have played better, it would have been a rout.
My thing with that game,
And they blew their own opportunities. And they blew their own opportunities going for it on fourth down. See, when you got and another thing, that was a playoff game. That was a playoff atmosphere game. And that's where the real big dogs show up. Herbert played playoff football yesterday. Like, come on. Anyway, man, the Chargers are better than us right now. The Bengals are better than us right now. Now, they playing excellent football, by the way.
Bengals are better than us. I will give you that.
Yeah, Bengals.
Buffalo, but y'all don't have to believe it.
We're going to find out.
We're definitely going to find out. But I hate that the weather situation also changes what a game plan would be. But hey, that's how it works. Buffalo, Kansas City.
Kansas City is. Yep.
Baltimore with a healthier secondary is not losing us again if we play like we did last time.
I'm not scared of Baltimore.
Y'all are really going to base a miracle fourth quarter scoring 4 touchdowns and think that we're going to do that. Y'all think we're going to do that again?
I've talked about this with my Ravens, buddy.
I ain't scared of no Baltimore. I ain't scared of no purple.
He's got no faith in the team, bro. It made me feel a little better, you know.
This team is the worst team against mobile quarterbacks. If you think we could stop the run, the one thing this team can't do is stop mobile quarterbacks.
Just Lamar for some reason.
Fields, did you see what Fields did to us?
We won.
We won.
He had a record-breaking day. We still won.
But hold on. But that's the point. But that's the point. The Baltimore Ravens don't have the Bears defense. That's the difference. In the playoffs, Lamar and them would still put up almost 30 against us, but that defense being healthy now, man, anyway, that's 5 teams, in my opinion, that we're not better than right now.
No.
I'll take 3 of them.
Let me see. Am I missing anybody off the top of my head? I feel like we're better than Tennessee at this point.
Yep.
Who else? I feel like we're better than the Patriots, and I feel like we're better than the Jets, but we're going to find out. But that's 5 out of the 7 teams, and if we're one of them, that's only one team in the playoff that I feel like we're not better, that we're better than, and we got to hope we get them in the first round. But I actually have to go. I am late. I was supposed to go at 12:30. I got to run, bro. Love y'all so much. Appreciate y'all having me.
It was a pleasure, man.
Quit the delusion. Quit the delusion.
Stop the cat.
Never.
Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Want to remind you guys, matter of fact, I'm going to change it. Okay. So I was saying for $25. Nobody else donated $25. So here's what I'm going to do all this week. But you have to donate on Cash App or PayPal. Move that thing real quick.
I got you. Sorry.
MSM Podcast Network, $MSM Podcast Network, Cash App or PayPal. Friday, we're going to do the giveaway. We're going to do the raffle on Friday afternoon for the Christian Wilkins jersey, okay? If you donate in increments of $10, 10 increments of 10, you will be entered to win the Christian Wilkins autographed jersey. I'm going to do increments of 10. I'm not even going to do 25. Increments of 10. You'll be entered to win, but you can only donate on Cash App or PayPal. We'll not take it off YouTube. Cash App or PayPal only.
That's how you get the Steven deal. The Steven special.
There we go.
For the Wilkins Wonder jersey.
Yes. And we will give that away Friday afternoon. So all all donations of $10 in increments of 10. So it could be 10, 20, 30, 40, doesn't matter. Christian Wilkins autograph jersey. Okay? Make sure y'all do it. It'll be awesome. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you listen to all these amazing, wonderful shows. Any final thoughts, Nando, today? I disagree with TD and a lot of the stuff. I love him. He's my brother from another mother, but I disagree with him.
It was, for me, that was like my second time talking to TD, so definitely different than TD, the Twitter persona that I've come to know, but I disagreed with a lot of it. Some points I understood where he was coming from, but I think we can figure it out this season, man. That's my difference, even I think we've got it. I think there's some limitations. Yes, we've had some holes, but still got trust in McDaniel and the coaches. I still got faith in the offense, man.
Me too. I 100% do.
It's going to be tough. It's not like it's going to be a magic wakata. Maybe it might be a little harder to flip on the switch, bro, but I think we can flip it up, It's just a little high up right now. We need a couple stools. I don't know. Maybe a little ladder. But we'll figure it out. The right tools.
We will definitely figure it out.
Oh, I felt a little out of my depth there for a bit, though, in the beginning. So that was pretty fun, though, Steven. So thank you for always the opportunity to talk on the beautiful Miami sports music.
Yeah, most
Podcast
definitely.
Network.
Most definitely. Hey, Flipside, I got all your stuff, man. I'm sending it to you. And you won yesterday, Flipside Fishing. You won that yesterday. I'm sending this to you too, buddy.
Winner, winner.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner for Flipside. So I'm excited about that. Be good stuff. All right, man. That sounds like it's a day. That might be a day for us.
Have a day.
When's the next time you're going on? Friday afternoon?
Yeah, I think I'm done with finals Friday. I think I'm able to go on this Friday. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I will figure it out now, actually.
Lunchtime rewind. Tuesdays or Fridays at 2
p.m.
And tonight, man, remember you got the fantasy football show, and you also have Phins, the Spanish-speaking podcast tomorrow night. Tomorrow morning is Wildin' Out Wednesday. So tomorrow, y'all get on the fans. Y'all can tell me how I was wrong. Y'all can tell me everything y'all want to tell me about how I was wrong or anything, whatever you want to be, man. It's going to be good stuff. Make sure you guys donate to the channel. Please help the channel grow. It's big. It goes such a long way. Into helping the channel grow. So donate to the channel. Again, one more time, drop the Cash App and PayPal links. Come on, $10 gets you a chance to win a awesome, amazing jersey. Christian Wilkins. Come on now. Come on.
Freaking beast.
That's an awesome deal for $10 a chance, right?
Oh, a nice little shot at it, That's beautiful.
I know. I think so. I think it is. Make sure y'all donate. Yeah, man, we're gonna have a great show. Oh, I want to remind y'all one more thing too. So, Tail Greeter, okay, Tail Greeter. Make sure you go to the app, download the app. It's free. Vasasaur, okay. Watch party Saturday night. I'm flying in Saturday morning. It's gonna be good stuff. Okay, so make sure y'all do that. Big deal, and yeah, make sure y'all do that. You want to pick anything else, man? You want to promote Nando Talk?
Yes, I was gonna say first, I have never actually congratulated you like face to face on 10K, man. Let's go, congrats!
You're a big part of that, man. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, bro. But hey, I hope you enjoyed your cruise.
I did, man. It
was
was fun.
If you want to check me out at Nando Talk, that's awesome. The road to 750 subscribers continues. So help me out there a little at Nando Talk. Yes, sir, bro. Inch by inch, creep by creep. You're a big part of that too, man. So thank you.
Look, man, we're part of the family here. So shout out to Batman, shout out to CB83, shout out to Jason Sarney and Nonis and everybody who's
team.
Thursday morning. Okay. I want to remind you all, Thursday, it will be obviously Cameron and Tamaris at the beginning with the NFL picks of the week. But let me tell y'all, Thursday morning, Dolfreaky will be on co-hosting with me too.
Damn.
The girl, my girl Dolfreaky will be on Thursday. We'll be promoting the watch party. She'll be on with me. It'll be a lot of fun. But remember, Saturday night, the Vasasaur watch party. If you're gonna come to the event, let me drop the link in here for you, so that way you guys have it. Bam, there we go. Go ahead and sign up. It's free to come, but you just need to RSVP to it, and it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. I'm excited about that. I hope you're there, bro.
Hey, man, honestly, after this week, I'm probably going to need it, man. I'm going to try to bust out everything, finish up the last little essays, hit submit, and then I should be good for Saturday, man.
It's going to be fun. And then I got to figure out what to do on Sunday. So I'm there all day Sunday without nothing to do.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. Solo's going to be
World Cup.
Huh?
The World Cup.
The Sunday?
Yeah. The finals that day.
Is it?
Yeah. It's at 12 o'clock, I think.
Well, then maybe I'm hanging out with you on Sunday and doing the World Cup.
Ooh, the World Cup action, huh?
We go back to Vasasaur and watch it there.
Ooh, Vasasaur?
Vasasaur.
Always
that
nice.
It's going to be rocking.
Dude, yeah, it's probably, especially for the World Cup, it's probably going to be bumping. Wow.
It's going to be awesome. All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Wanted to say thank you to TD Phins Talk for hanging out with us today. Today was Hot Take Tuesday. Nikki will be back next week. Nikki smokes. So he'll be hanging out with us next Tuesday again. So that'll be good stuff. Next week is Christmas week. Next week is Christmas week, man.
There we go.
For Christmas?
Almost the holidays, man. It's a fun time, man. I'm excited for the Christmas game, honestly.
It'll be good. It'll be fun. We're going to the playoffs, baby. You ready for the playoff football and for the Dolphins?
Dude,
I'm
going to the playoff game no matter where it is.
I'll be there.
I'll be there.
We'll be there.
We ride, my friend.
We'll do the pregame show together. The pregame show
would be a legendary. I might cry though. So
okay, we both might cry, especially if we win.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. If we win, I'll be like
a playoff game.
I look like the Timberwolves, man. Like last year, I was like Pat Bev. Let's go.
I ain't scared of no Buffalo either. Just so y'all know, I'm ready for Buffalo this weekend. I'm so ready. So ready.
Let's go.
All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. We hope that you guys enjoyed the show today. It was a lot of fun, and Tua's gonna have some Tua time on Saturday night, man. It's gonna be good stuff.
Let's
Nando, say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for putting up with my antics during this awesome time. Thank you, Stephen.
See you tomorrow, Wildin' Out Wednesday.
Chins up, fins up.
Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time. My intuition.